And the man in the back said everyone attacking and there into a ballroom. And the man in the ballroom. Ballroom. Let me know when we're live.
When the lights go on, we go live.
What? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the pre-show for the GameOverGreggy show. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller. Alongside nobody. Kevin's over there. We still come back from lunch. We just wrap Kinda Funny Games daily. I wolfed down some chicken, and I'm gonna wolf down this Cliff Bar in front of you as well.
I will
Here's
be
the thing,
eating
real
a
quick.
burrito shortly.
I did not think of a topic. So what do you want to hear us talk about? Oh, is it good?
We have the best.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Okay, good.
We got the
Fuck.
show.
You might need another. You guys are gonna need another mic though, huh?
I don't know.
You just do it without him.
Yeah, he can just walk in when he wants. It's Andy's 1 year anniversary.
Oh wait, your
Mm-hmm.
mic's
The
dead.
show's just Andy. Our story's about Andy.
Okay. And he should definitely have a microphone. He should be here.
It's pretty great.
Do we need to get one mic or not? Stop.
Yeah, get into the mic. We'll put Andy's ass in here.
I like you guys talking about behind it. Like, behind your back. That's funny. Excuse me,
Is
Nick.
that the look?
Nick,
You could have just said.
Hey, everybody. A lot of people are saying hi. Hi, Andrew.
Can you scoot over
Hi,
there?
Charles. Hi, Mark. Mark, I need the platinum update. What do you got? What do you got for me? Actually, you know what? Mark Freeman, are you at your terminal of some? I'm going to send you a code for Island Time VR. European. Let me know if it works.
Why wouldn't it work?
Because I've been having some conflicting issues.
God, those other snacks are so good.
Have you seen all this YouTube stuff?
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Is there any details? I just heard active shooter and I haven't seen anything.
I haven't
beyond
seen
that.
anything. I've seen like people saying that they're safe or that they've been evacuated, but I haven't seen like hard details.
Check, check, check. Hello, hello, hello.
Police
Can
did
you
confirm active
hear
shooter.
me? Jill Keeling said Nick said 1:30 on the morning show, but I'm not sure. Yes, we were 3 minutes late. I apologize.
I was right on
No,
time.
no, we
Mark,
were
I've sent you the code now. Redeem that and tell me if it works.
Greg, why wouldn't it work?
How about you mind your own fucking business?
That's
It's okay. I accept your apology.
not what I.
No, you don't have to come over here. I
Don't
can,
be accepted.
I can accept
Don't
it.
accept it. Don't accept it from now on.
Burn the
We
bridge.
need to start being more stern with Kevin, or he'll never learn when as he grows up into a fine young man.
I'm a fine young
Man, that looks just good. That just looks like you're eating a brownie, and I appreciate that.
I love the Cliff Bar chocolate brownie.
Looks like a mashed up poo.
Oh,
It does look like that too. It does look like a
you can
petrified
eat that,
poop.
but a bowl of chili. Oh, can't touch
I assume
I don't like
Tim
this
pitched
visual
you on
picture.
what we'd like to talk about during this podcast, and you vehemently agreed. Great. Cue up
gonna
your
be good.
questions, comments, and Andy stories, ladies and gentlemen. We're going
Andy,
deep down the rabbit hole
you're
of
a
that
fine
sweet,
girl.
sweet candy. That's
What a
sweet.
good wife you would be. I rewatched Charlie's Angels while I was sick.
Oh,
Not
finally.
necessarily a great decision, but
Not a bad
an
decision,
entertaining
though.
movie.
Oh man, the first Charlie's Angels?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. Good, fun, but weird. Then the second Charlie's Angels happened, you're like, did they know they were making a movie? Or did they think they were just shooting a bunch of scenes they were going to cobble together?
That's also true. First one also has Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell dancing. And every
Right?
time you have a Sam Rockwell dancing scene.
So in my closet, I have like, I want to say like at least 20 to 30 Charlie's Angels posters.
Why do you have so many?
Nobody wants to
Why do you-
field that one?
You go to the two apps.
I'll go do it. I'll go do it.
What?
Tim, sit your fucking ass
I need to pee, Greg.
People are getting angry. Cool, Greg.
There's
let me
just
ask
a
you this
lot of
question.
LaCroix
What are the
happening.
chances that you are going to do that Starbucks run?
I'm doing it. I need like 10 minutes before I leave though.
Actually, you know what?
I need to set some shit to export.
Okay. Okay.
What if you got some half calf? Do you fuck around with half calf?
Like half decaf, half
Yeah.
not? No, you know what? No, I don't. I should. I make coffee at home, and I have the capability of just putting half decaf, half not in there.
Yeah.
I don't know that I feel the difference necessarily, but what I have tried to do is like cut off the coffee after like 2 p.m.
Yeah.
just so that I'm not still wired
You're not in bed
at
at
8.
11.
Because my body gets super tired, but my brain is like, let's
Wired.
worry about the thing that you don't have to worry about.
Remember that thing you haven't thought about in 7 years?
What about taxes next year? Should we worry about taxes next year?
Yeah.
What's this new Trump tax plan going to do? Is it good or bad? No, you don't have to worry about that shit right now. Just think about it. Although I'm sad to say, Joe, I'm on the last and final season Of course, it's the last and final season of Friends.
What are you gonna do after that?
I don't know. This has been a journey. I started from episode 1, and I've watched all.
Did you watch it when it was originally on?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I remember moments of it. But you get a lot more out of an amazingly deep series like Friends when you watch them back to back to back. Namely, that series should have ended right around season 6. That was the last time all the characters were actually real characters. And then somewhere along the line, Ross became a fucking idiot.
Okay, this is the thing I don't
Jennifer
understand.
Aniston became stupid
why
also.
Does everybody hate Ross?
Because his character.
I find there's something about him that I find endearing.
Well, the thing is this: the first 5 or 6 seasons, he is very endearing because he's a little nerdy, but he's also the character that is just sort of
the most
has his shit together,
yeah.
and so slowly but surely they get him like remarried, and he has a kid out of wedlock, and then he becomes this.
No, it's in wedlock.
Yeah, it was in wedlock.
No, he knocks up Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
Oh, that's way later.
And
yeah, you're talking about like season 8, season 9 there.
Sure.
He also gets married and ruins his marriage as he's getting married.
That's also true.
So what I'm saying is, when you watch the first few seasons, all of the characters were a lot more balanced than they are now. Joey occasionally said stupid things, but he wasn't a complete. Well, actually, he was pretty much a complete idiot from the beginning.
Test.
All I'm saying is, like, Rachel's character has now turned into an idiot, so they can put her together with Joey. But she was never that stupid and ditzy before. And then
that's debatable.
No, go back and watch. Courtney Cox's character was never that insanely anal retentive until
later.
And then it's just annoying.
Go to add half and half to your coffee.
AJ, new Patreon
Yes,
viewer.
please. And if you're going, are you going to the one in Target?
I think so.
Could you also pick up half and half, like a thing of half and half? Thank you. But yeah, unsweetened, please. No sweetener in mine.
But
You're
what
on
do
the
you,
show, Andy? This is gonna be fun.
I'm very excited for
Celebrate
the show.
Andy.
You guys are in for something.
I will say shout out to Paul Rudd though in the last couple seasons.
Oh yeah, sorry for spoiling that for you.
No, it's okay. It's great. But that's the thing is like I had no idea he came back. So you were like, oh, they get married. I was like, what? Spoilers
Yeah,
for a show that was
12
over
years
in
later. Sorry,
fucking
just saying.
2002.
Can I have a grande sweetened iced coffee?
Soul
Cool Greg's the
Trapper
best, man.
said, Nick, I think it's time for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Look, man, been down that road already.
I think it's time.
Have you done How I Met Your Mother?
You're starting it?
oh, yeah.
Started it
Did
last
you like
night.
it?
Oh, I was
Oh boy, is the
old
first
school.
episode not great.
Super
Yeah.
fan of How
Oh,
I Met
they
Your
mean
Mother.
you're starting.
Ted
the
Mosby
podcast.
sucks.
His character is stupid. Sorry,
Sucks.
Josh,
The worst part.
whatever his name is. What's his
Radner?
Yeah, Josh Radner.
I don't
He's
think he's supposed to be
annoying
good.
because he has that. He always does that thing where he has to be the sincere guy,
But he's
and
not.
he has to do that look where he's like, "I'm sincerely
He's
saying
just super
something to you right now."
condescending. I don't like it.
He's an idiot. But I love how that show ended.
Really?
It's so
I
fucked
was
up and sad.
What
not-
show?
Okay, How
How I Met Your Mother.
I was not. I was
You
not
should
into
watch
that.
it. I think you'd actually like it. But shout out to Neil Patrick Harris for being the most amazing character on television ever.
Yeah.
Turns into a total asshole at the end.
Barney?
I mean, it's debatable that he was an asshole the whole time.
Yeah, he was definitely an asshole the whole time.
But,
He was never a good person.
Supposedly changes his ways, and then at the end it's like, he changed back.
Stu Yasmin says, are you guys going to watch Cock Blockers? Yes. Yes, I am.
What's up, Andrew Francis?
That's the prom one,
My
yeah.
boy.
I like that
Oh,
they
when's it come out?
It's
I
soon.
wanna say
I like whenever they have
soon.
commercials for it. There's like an empty beat and then it's blockers because they can't say cock on TV.
It was stupid.
I think
Well, I
it's
think
funny.
the show's just straight up called, or the movie's just called.
No, but
Blockers.
there's a
But it's
there's
always
a
like
cock in the emblem.
blockers.
Well, there
Yeah.
is that
it's like
clearly.
there's
yes.
a rooster in the emblem. Mm-hmm. So it's sort of like similar
Yeah.
to another group we work with. Booster Cola says I need nitro rifle to help splat.
What does that mean?
Splatoon?
Splatoon.
Oh, it's not.
Nitro Rifle does not play per competitive Splatoon anymore.
Nitro Rifle hates
Retired.
that dumb game because he has advanced to a real adult game, Rainbow Six Siege, with his boy Cheeto Fingers and Flapjack.
Tomorrow, guys.
What?
Blockers.
Oh,
Oh.
cool. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Tomorrow?
That is-
Well, tomorrow
That's a weird time for
in
cock
Emeryville
blockers to come out.
and then
Emeryville.
the rest, like the whole world on Thursday, or at least our world.
Fucking shit.
Oh, Andy. What an idiot.
For once, it's not me that spills.
How's your shirt doing, Tim?
Man, my first day wearing a brand new white shirt, and I fucking get some little hot
Looks like
sauce
Cheeto
on it.
fingers kind of give you a little touch right there.
Yeah, not only did you get hot sauce on it, but you had like, you could have accidentally spilled pico de gallo on it. You spilled the most orange,
The orangest thing in the
fluorescent
fucking
orange
world, dude.
Hot, like it was
What
like,
was up with it? Why did it look
it was so
bright?
I don't know, and
Clear.
it sucks because like you can't see there, but Joey can see. Like it
I
ruined
can't
my
see.
shirt.
There's like
Yeah.
there's pilling.
yeah,
on
you're
the
pilling.
shirt.
You
I
can't-
just bought this shit.
yeah, well,
No, it
Like when
didn't.
the fabric like balls up.
yeah. It's when it gets thin and balls up.
Fucking sucks.
I mean, that was
they
you
do
who did
sell,
that, though.
I will say
Yeah.
they do sell.
No, but I didn't expect that. I didn't expect trying to clean one problem to cause another.
They do sell D-pillars if you'd like, but
Really?
it does thin the fabric out.
Yeah.
You're best probably
the
just
shirt?
buying
I have
another
one.
shirt.
Buy another shirt.
Yeah.
Do you know how much the shipping on this is?
How much?
Fucking Brian Altano should be in.
What'd you get?
Let me see.
Is it an anniversary present?
No, I think it might be from Big Core, maybe.
From Google.
Big
Nah.
core.
Is it a big Gundam?
Because I can't guarantee it's from him.
Is it a big Gundam?
No, I think he sent more snacks.
Oh, cool. Is there twang in there?
Okay, bye.
I don't think so.
Some twang on it.
Thomas Greedier says
Oh my
Brooklyn
God.
Nine-Nine is the
I
best show.
hate your twerk
The
pose.
characters are actually good people as well as funny.
The arc, it's like it's
Too good.
It's
What
too
were you
good.
twerking to
It's too
earlier?
good.
You were playing back that ass though.
Oh, that's right. That's an appropriate response to back that.
Thank
up.
you.
Do you just keep one here at all times?
I don't want people to
Mark
think
Freeman
that I'm
said the code
fucking
word.
crazy.
I was not looking.
Thanks a lot, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, you could
I was
you could
kidding. Why would you
scroll
know that?
back
Why would
and
you know that?
chat
Why
if
would
you
know that?
want.
No, why would you need? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Kiss him.
I just get down.
Kevin, are you down to watch Hereditary?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. I don't know that I can.
I want to go.
Hereditary?
Yeah.
Oh,
You
which
see the
one's
trailer
that?
for this shit?
The creepy house one?
Yeah.
Give me the-
It's a horror movie,
Ooh, hold on. I think I vaguely. Go give it to me.
and there's some girl, her mom and her grandma. The grandma dies, and then the girl gets super fucked
Right.
up.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
I want to see this. I will go to the movies for this.
I don't know that I can, man.
Stop
That
being a
trailer's
pussy, let's
it's
go.
too fucked up.
Field trip.
I'll tell you what. I'll cosplay as the house.
I don't like that. I don't like anything about that.
No way you will.
I want you to cosplay as a chair, and people don't know you're a chair
They try
until they
to
go to
sit
sit
me?
in you and you grab them. Yeah. How would that feel for you?
Jill
me,
Keeling
great.
says,
Them,
"Let me
that's
introduce you to the amazing world of Tied to Go pens. Got me through sorority recruitment,
Mark says it worked.
also known as cult registration. Get that." Cool Greg's on the way to go get me a Tide pen, and I respect him for that.
Why?
What-
you
what
got some
sorority are
you got
you
some
in, Jill?
shmups?
Fucked up, man.
Is it Chipotle?
Oh
No, it's
Ramen.
I
Dos
see. She's not
Charos.
in a sorority. She
Dos
just was trying to be recruited
Charos.
by a
She was
sorority?
in a sorority.
She was.
Talking about when they did recruitment in her story.
Yeah. What sorority was she in?
Thanks,
I don't know.
George.
Well, I asked her, and now we have to wait for the 45-minute YouTube delay, and then it'll get to
I
her.
would never, ever, 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 Kevin, watch a scary movie ever again. After it,
You don't want to watch it too?
I'm scared. I'm scarred.
You'll never watch a scary movie again. Period.
You were scared by it. That doesn't make sense to me.
Andy's a sensitive soul.
Booster Cola, you listened to the new Between the Bear to Me yet? Yes, I have, and I'm super, super into it. And I can't wait to go watch and play with the Deer Hunter.
Go get paper towels.
Amy Gilroy asks, Nick, what size shirt are ye? Are ye? Large.
Yeah.
Large to a medium, but usually a large. I'll shrink that bad boy down if I need to. Or take it to my tailor. Have it taken up a couple inches. Now, Greg,
Why do you look at Tim
let me
that
ask you
way?
this question. Do you remember
Excuse
when...
me. I'm getting asked a question.
Do you remember when... You'll remember this because you
Oh,
have
sure.
an amazing library and memory for music.
Oh, sure. Yes.
Did I make this up or did this actually happen? This is going to be a new segment on the pre-show. Did Nick make
Did
this
it
up
happen,
or did
or
this
did
actually
it
happen?
get made up?
Do you
Nick
remember
don't
when
remember.
Prince played a music show like the Grammys
One,
and then turned around and you could see his ass?
Yes.
What show was that? Do you remember? Was it the Grammys?
You haven't
But
been able to
MTV
find this?
Music
Did
Awards?
you Google this at all?
No,
This should
I
be
want
hard
to ask you.
find.
You're the human Google when it comes to
Yeah, but I don't know the
music.
award show. I just remember having. I would say it's
just knows
probably
lyrics.
MTV, but
Okay,
it might
I'm gonna
have
look
been
at
the
it.
Grammys.
I'm gonna look at it.
I downloaded this Steal My Sunshine song last night.
Nice. Yes, you did. Give.
I was on a grand.
the Sunday morning of last week.
Example of the game Brother or Lover. Were you trying to figure
Brother or lover? I didn't know that's a game.
Didn't know that was a game.
I
You
didn't know
gotta
that's a
play
game.
Brother or Lover. I'm so into that.
You just send like either pictures.
What if it's the Daily Double?
Kevin, can you Google Brother or Lover?
I mean,
They're amazing.
They
right?
are
Let me see.
amazing.
One, two.
Where was it?
College friend.
Well, I'm sure Google has it there.
Rick says MTV. Yeah, they're all same. The,
MTV Music Awards.
Well, somebody's saying it. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
The VMAs.
1991.
The VMAs. That makes sense. Okay.
1991, a big year. As we talked about, yes, Michael Landon, dead.
How come you didn't include that in your 1991 summary?
Why isn't it
You cut me off.
MVAs?
You cut me off.
I've always wondered that. Why isn't it MVAs? Why was it always VMAs?
Video Music Awards?
Like
Because there's
music
already
video
music
awards.
awards. You want to double down on the music awards.
No, music video
SEO.
awards.
MVAs. Andy's right. Why isn't it RS6?
We don't call them. Oh, did you see that new video music from so and
I
so?
don't think we should click on any of these.
Click
You know
on
what I
the
mean?
click on the first one, Kev.
It's not working.
Here we go. Brother, lover completed.
No, this isn't what I
What will
want.
happen when?
I want a
is
bunch
this?
of pictures and I want a quiz.
Oh, this is fan fiction.
Yeah. Scroll down.
Give me some fucking fanfic.
Can you go to the bottom one? No, actually, no. Don't.
fucking take
fuck it.
I can kill you.
If anyone in the chat can find a good brother or lover quiz, send it our way.
Not in too deep. If you steal my sunshine.
So for this scene, guys, what you're gonna have your arm around her and you're gonna be dancing together? Yeah, but I'd like to be behind her and rubbing my fucking big bulge into her butt. Like
I don't like when you say bulge.
Yeah. Well, okay, so maybe we could try it a different way. We'll try your way one time, and then maybe if we could not have you molest your sister
Yeah.
on camera, that'd be great.
And for this scene, you guys are gonna be dancing together, kind of like singing to the camera. Yeah, but I want both of my arms around her and kind of like slowly fucking moving across her boobs.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
your
maybe we'll
sister.
try
Yeah,
that.
but your sister we're talking about.
The stunt dancer or the choreography? No, my sister.
For this scene, you guys are going to be riding a scooter together, and she's just going to be behind
She's gonna be
you.
on a separate scooter,
She's
right?
on a separate scooter. I'd like her with a strap on right behind me, just railing that thing in and out of me.
Leave it to Nick to just bring the strap on into
You
it.
want a punchline or not, Greg Miller?
Nick Scarpino, I'd love a punchline.
Premise, setup, punchline, ladies and gentlemen. That's
It's
how it
like
goes.
he's gone to joke school
Waka waka
when
waka.
Tim was just the joke of his school.
Oh, damn, dude.
Been a great show. Bye.
What a good rhyme.
People went to clown college. Why did
That was
they-
a great poll, by the way.
Hey,
Yeah.
did they do anything else?
No,
Less-
when you write a
less is
perfect
more.
song, what do you don't know?
What are y'all doing now, Len? I work at KFC and
You steal my sunshine. She's just behind him every single time going, if you steal my sunshine.
She's like
you
the,
bought their
she's like the
album.
lobotomy scar.
Yeah, you did.
I did not buy their album. No, never owned their album. I was like, no, man. Like, as much as I enjoyed boy band music and stuff, it was totally uncool to buy that shit.
That's not
As
boy
much as
bands.
like
It's true. You
as
couldn't
much
do
as
it.
we try to pretend that I didn't like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys and I fucking loved them. No, if you ever said that, you'd be fucking crucified.
But the song we
But
were just
Len-
singing is not boy band.
Yeah.
no,
that
but like
seems
that's still
some-
on the pop side of
No,
things.
that was like-
the album that I was buying in fucking middle school was like Rage Against the Machine, you know, because I wanted to be cool.
Oh, you're so fucking cool.
Yeah.
You're so edgy. You want to be edgy.
I was,
You didn't
yeah.
want people to think you were like...
Godsmack.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
What about Tool? Where'd you come down on Tool?
Never listened to a whole lot of Tool, but our friend of mine named Oscar, who is infamous for always like kind of talking shit and kind of like semi-bullying me, but then every time I had chips, he'd be like, "What's up, Andy? How's the band going?" And he just like wanted chips.
Just wanted chips.
Yeah.
That motherfucker's a chip thief.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rudy Ortiz says, "Where's the second poll of the Kind of Funny tournament?"
That should go live at 2 p.m., but currently there's an active shooter at YouTube, which is kind of a very serious thing. So I'm going to say we're probably not going to do a second poll today and get in there as everyone's reacting to what's going on.
That might
and
be
a little bit of a panic.
It's a good move.
Smart move.
Now here's the next thing.
Not the move I
What's
would
the next
do.
thing, Greg?
But a
What
smart
would you
move.
do?
I would forget by accident and schedule the poll.
Well,
and
you can't
it would
schedule
go
a
up.
poll, so
That's
we
a
get
good
to
point.
dodge it. And also, like, I think we could do it, but it's way too much on the topic of our mind and everyone else we follow's mind right now for it not to be. We're going to Missouri next week. I'm going to PAX this weekend. What about this, though? I'm just going to try this on, all right?
I'll try it
What
on.
if I don't go to PAX? Joey, this is important. What if I don't go to PAX and instead we go to Missouri 3 or 4 days early? Because if we wanted to, we could go to the Ready Room in St. Louis Saturday at 8 p.m. and see Len perform.
Whoa!
Oh my
I'm so
God.
fucking mad.
As
That it should have
Janice
been
would
next
say.
week. That would have been so good.
Why do you need to go to PAX, dude? No one's looking forward to that shit. Bring your wings another day. Go see Lent.
Dude, nope.
Oh, no, Lent, not Lent. Lent is a very religious holiday.
I'll
Don't
replace
eat-
you. at
don't
PAX.
eat
No
meat
one
and
even
go see
knows.
Lent.
Okay.
No one be able to tell the difference.
No, it'd be great.
Maybe Joe and I will go. Do you want to go? Fly to Missouri early and go see Len.
Cancel my. Andy can take my PAX ticket.
Yeah.
We'll go see Len.
Man. man.
I can replace
It's
Greg or
interesting.
Joey. Nobody would
It's
ever know.
interesting because it's searching near San Francisco to find it, and the only one it's finding is St. Louis. It's like this isn't. They're not on tour, guys.
They're just
Len
playing
is
local
there
show.
Let's just-
on April
man.
7th.
This is my question
show.
for those bands. Is that like, do you,
Please steal my sunshine again.
that's always my question, right? It's like when people go to those shows.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are really hardcore. Was it Len? Is that how you said it?
Yeah, Len.
Len fans, but the Fairweather fan that's just like, oh, I'm gonna go see that. Do you think they just have to strategically put "Steal My Sunshine" into the set list so that the entire audience doesn't get up and leave right after that one's done?
Yeah, they've never ever performed without performing that
I was
song.
very-
As the last
Probably
song?
at the top and bottom of the show.
Yeah,
Very-
guys, we're gonna start this. We're also gonna end it out with.
I was
this.
very appreciative of when I went on a date with one Gia Tap Harris, and we went to see Vanessa Carlton.
Yeah.
And Vanessa came out, sat at her piano, and she said, "I like to get it out of the way at front," and then played a thousand miles right there.
That's cool.
And then it was like, all right, now we can get on with the show. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, that's fucking right.
Everyone,
you just
got up
fucking
and left.
popped your
90%.
cherry.
Okay.
Guys, when I was in my really
Well, no,
famous
she's got a great
rock band
discography.
on tour, when I was in my very famous touring rock band,
was the
very
band?
popular, Ambelina, we started off a set one time with our most popular song. It's a very long song, right? So we played like
It's your
until
Freebird.
we played until a certain instrumental break that we go into, and then we started the next song. It was like, oh, they're just cutting the other song short. At the very, very end of the set, we bring in the second half of
Oh,
the
that's
first
smart.
song.
That's really smart.
And it was all the
the
songs back.
The three people in the audience
Yeah,
must have been so
exactly,
fucking
yeah.
stoked
My
out of their
parents were
mind.
like,
Yeah, your mom must have really loved that.
Yeah.
Now, as I continue deeper down the Len rabbit hole,
Yeah.
as I have over here, would it
Naturally.
shock you, Nick Scarpino, to hear this? On August 22nd, Len tweets, Did steal my sunshine on stage for the first time in maybe 15 years in Nashville last night. Fun as hell.
How many followers does
Bullshit
official
is
Len
what I'd
have?
say.
3,215.
Yeah, I was gonna say Kevin brings a good point. When's the last time they had a show? Was it 15 years ago?
let's
Because
go to
no
the YouTube
fucking
channel.
way that you didn't do that song.
Your last show was 20 years ago, Len.
They released an album in 2012 and 2005.
They're back, baby.
I'm listening to nothing but Len. Like what? This is my thing. Is like I brought up Sugar Ray.
Start the show.
We're pre-showing.
I brought up
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Kevin.
Do you want me to start it and continue there?
Yeah, we can do that.
Well, we have a lot to do after today. After that thing.
It's true. Yeah, there's an email about that. Can you respond that we might be just a little late? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Game Over Greggy Show. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer slash seducer, Nick Scarpino.
It reminds
Oh my
me
God.
of Sugar Ray. We talked about this.
Save it for 1 second. We're in the middle of a heated Len conversation. We'll get back to it 1 second. Over there at Tim Gettys.
Let Tim host.
That's a beautiful shirt. Where'd you get
It
it?
is a beautiful shirt. I don't know, weirdheat.com
I
or
would
some
assume
shit.
I was, yeah.
But I got some hot sauce on
Don't
it.
point out the fact that
Cool
you
Greg's
got.
coming with the Tide pen. It's okay.
That would have been a great bit later then. You know what I mean?
It's gonna still happen.
Whatever. And over here,
Looks like he's got a third nipple.
the Hispanic heartthrob, Andy Cortez.
Hey!
Ooh, tastes good.
Now, we're in the middle of a discussion
If you don't watch
earlier.
the pre-show, which is available, of course, live for $1 on patreon.com/kindoffunnygames,
Yeah.
you can, kindoffunny, or you can get it on Friday as the big video. We've been talking about a whole mess of things on the pre-show, but here we are now.
You don't want to miss out.
We had to pick up. Kevin's like, we got a lot to do today. You need to get right into it. So we're like, all right, we'll continue the Len conversation. You might be at home or in your car right now saying, Len? The Steal My Sunshine people that seem kind of incestuous?
Yeah.
Exactly.
See, yeah, and if you're not seeing that, just think about Steal My Sunshine and think about what song that might be. Or YouTube, just Steal My Sunshine and listen, because I would have never known the name was Len.
How?
I've never seen that
How did
video.
you- what?
Yeah, I've heard the song a bazillion
So to take you
times
back
in
even
the
further,
background.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you
were
have to
at
add context
Let's
to
Play
this.
Spring Break this past weekend. Bored out of our minds. Just fucking throwing shoes at Funky Cool Lou Medina.
Yes.
Eventually,
now engaged.
Eventually, he's engaged. Why not?
As of today.
He didn't. What? Congratulations!
Put it on the social.
Everybody,
Big Lou Medina.
Find Louis Medina
Tito
out
Wolf.
there on the internet. Drive to his house, knock on the door. When he answers, say, "Here's a shoe," and he'll be like, "Fucking kind of funny."
He'll know.
He'll know it's us.
Give
He'll
him
know
both
it's us.
shoes though, so we can wear them.
We eventually retreated back to our crib where we were staying with the Funhouse peeps. At which point, somebody put on Pandora or YouTube, and then we all started bringing up bad stuff and old 90s music videos and all stuff. To which point, of course, I think I screamed out, a whole bunch of us screamed out, Len, Steal My Sunshine. To which you had never seen before?
Never seen before.
I don't think I've ever seen the video for that.
What?
I know the song, but because you were like, oh, they're totally incestuous. I'm like, I don't remember that at all.
Well, that was, yeah, when we're watching the video, I was like, as a reminder, remember they're brother and sister, which blew a lot of people's minds because at the time, we all, as TRLs on there, you're a little kid discovering your sexuality. You see these people and you're like, these two kiss French style.
Yeah.
You know
shit,
that there's
damn.
something going on there. And then, in fact, it turned out, no, they are brother and
Like
sister.
he's grabbing onto her vulva all night, like just holding it.
And the bulge. Now, if you don't know the song, Andy, remind him.
Is doom, doom,
This is terrible.
I was lying on the ground. It's very airy.
Last week.
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah.
You gotta keep going. You have to hit the
If
hook.
you steal my sunshine. If you steal my sunshine.
Now imagine that,
L-E-T-E-R
but if she
that
has her
week.
arms wrapped around her brother so tightly that you would think one of them's inside the other person. It's disgusting now that I think about it. It is more shocking than when I found out
is disgusting.
that Luke and Leia were in fact brother and
Well, this
sister.
one's way.
was a
There's
moment.
way. That's the thing is like at the time I remember being a kid, and be like, wow, that's crazy or whatever, that whatever. And now watching it as a drunk adult at Let's Play Spring Break, there's definitely some vibes,
vibes,
there.
man.
There's
vibes there.
and it's quote unquote worse. I'm not trying to judge. It's quote unquote worse than Star Wars because these are real people and they're really touching each other.
they're
and
really
brother and
fucking
sister.
into each other.
Yeah,
They're
it's,
really related.
they're really related.
Kevin, I need you to lean up to your microphone. You were there. You saw this video.
Fucking
Kevin went
sister.
sleepy.
No,
I think Kevin
you
was
were awake
sleepy.
for this,
Kevin,
right?
I didn't recognize him.
Kevin, were you awake for this?
He's in and out.
Yes, I was.
You have
I'm
a
in
sister.
here. Yeah, sure.
Would you ever?
Never.
No, okay. I'm just saying, in any context, are you
Guys.
looking at these like them holding hands or being silent and being like,
You guys,
oh, that's
you guys
normal.
are thinking, hey, this is just how they interact. This is how they want to be in the video. What if it was a producer being like, yeah, hug her, and then
Ew.
being like, well, I don't know. It's like, no, hug her, because it's like a fun vibe.
There's
It's
got
like
to be a
fun
way we can
vibe.
call Len. Like, the Cisco
Why,
know
why
Len?
were they called Len? Like, is that
His
their
name
whole?
was probably Len.
his
No,
name? What about her name?
Maybe the last name was Len. Maybe it was Jim and Caroline Len.
Oh.
Why were they called Godsmack?
Because
They
that's
smacked
just
God.
a dope name.
Fuck. My dad did not like me buying that album. He was like, not in my house. Godsmack? What does that mean?
Oh, really?
Like, I was
going
like,
on?
what does
Fan
that
of it.
mean? I don't want you to buy
The
it.
same with System of a Down. When angels deserve to die. He's like, why are angels dying? What does that mean? My dad was like,
What does that mean?
not happy about
Is your
it.
dad super religious?
I mean, they are religious, but like, they're not like crazy evangelical. They're not like fucking Far Cry by
Yeah.
any means, but you know.
It's weird. My parents are actually fairly religious people, but never once were they ever like, you shouldn't listen to that. They were just like, whatever, we don't care.
Do you?
No,
weird.
but they were also very trusting of me. Like, oh, you're going out with your friends on a weekday, and
On
you're
a
gonna be out.
Tuesday
You're gonna be
night?
out for like 4 days during the summer. Yeah, go have fun. Like, they were super trusting, but they were also like, hey, if you
but,
fuck up,
know,
you're gonna get it.
Don't smack God.
Yeah, exactly. And
See,
that's why I was always so terrified to smack God, but also to like to drink illegally and smoke illegally, which is like I never did that as a kid because I was so terrified
Now
of
you're
getting
an
in trouble.
alcoholic. Well, now I call you Andy For Loco Cortez.
Holy crap! I love that.
Yeah.
Well, me and James,
You chugged that
Me
thing.
and James Williams are the Ocho Loco Bros.
The Ocho Loco.
You made up Ocho Loco.
I've been meaning to tell everyone Andy's new official nickname is For Loco because
It burned my stomach
man,
so much.
You went.
That was nasty, dude.
You went from fun Andy to hilariously drunk Andy to we might need to call a paramedics Andy in the span of like
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
You
Yeah.
blinked and it was over. It
Yeah,
happened.
you were
It was
fucking
so
dead.
crazy.
Yeah.
Now, also, apparently, as the story goes from Let's Play Spring Break, one of the reasons that the homeowners of the establishment got angry was because they were trying to have a conversation about what was happening indoors, and that conversation was interrupted by people screaming, chug, 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 chug.
You know
me
what
in the
do such a
backyard.
thing?
I don't
Do
know.
such a
I
thing.
just feel like it's irresponsible, and people
It was
shouldn't be that kind of
irresponsible. It was
people.
irresponsible.
And then, so I was downstairs,
Down.
and by that point, I was fucking like really, really drunk.
You were lit,
and I was
as the
trying to
kids
drink
say.
water and just trying to feel better because I didn't want the end of the day to happen like at 3 p.m. or some
Yeah.
shit.
I didn't want the end of the
Yeah.
day to happen in the middle of the
Yeah,
day.
and then fucking Sean Bolin and Elise Williams run downstairs and they're like, "Come be on this next segment with us. Tim's gonna be on it." And like, I didn't understand what was going on. I was like, "Guys, I cannot be on camera right now. This is really, really bad." And before I
Meanwhile,
went on,
another perspective, I'm on a couch and I just see Bolin and Elise bringing Andy up, and Andy just has the biggest smile on his face. Tim, I'm joining you.
No, but at that point, I'm drinking a lot of water. And I'm like
Hydrating like an athlete.
scarfing down water to try to feel better, right? By the time I sit down, no, actually, I go to the restroom and I hear people saying outside, Andy's going to be on the show. He needs water. He needs water. And I hear
start drinking out of the
I
toilet.
hear Brett from Cow Chop, and Brett's like, "Oh yeah, we'll get him water. We'll get him." And I walk outside, and he hands me a bottle of water. And for some reason, I was so paranoid. I was like, "This is vodka, isn't it?" Like I thought they were fucking with me. And he's like, "No, it's water." I'm like trying to help you. Drank the water, got on the show, felt great,
vodka.
and then I burped. And it was a really bad burp.
Andy's sitting next to me, and I'm like, he's about to fucking pop.
And I'm like
right
super
next to
drunk,
me
right?
on
But like,
camera.
but
I'm not gonna lie to you, Andy. There was a moment
great
I
content.
looked at him, and I was just like, "Are you okay?" Like on some real shit. Are you okay? And he just like doesn't answer. He looks at me and just does this stupid little Andy smile.
And I had my sunglasses on.
And I was like, "Oh, this is so
Cool.
bad." But then I had a moment where I was like, "Okay, he's either fucking with me or he's fucked up."
I was
and I was
both.
like, "But wait a minute." Andy would throw up on camera, and he would throw up all over me just for the fucking content. And I was like, I don't want that at all.
There could be literally a giant bucket that says "throw up in me," and Andy would have looked at it and then just thrown up right onto your crotch, just right into your crotch.
I felt better on the show, but then there was a moment where I burped and it tasted really bad. I was like, "Oh boy!"
What I
Did
could
not
not have
see that
imagined a better ending to this movie than if you threw up all over that poor woman's couch.
And her fucking uptight husband are
That's
just
it.
watching it, and like,
just
let's
gave
play
up.
Spring Break is done.
Yeah.
Because they even gave you shit at one point for like they were giving people crap because there were dogs there, and I was like, what?
Yeah,
Did
they kicked out
these
Septic.
people think they were
Well,
gonna?
Septic's dog was crazy.
Yeah,
Septic's dog's fucking nuts.
Given
Well, they
bad-
peed on the
bad
ground. They peed on the floor, on the
that'll
second
happen.
floor. They kicked the dogs out, and the dogs are just outside.
Don't
Like,
kick my dog.
come on, guys, we just hey, man, we're good, man, we're good. Yeah.
And that's why Len is weird.
Yeah,
They're playing St. Louis, Missouri, Saturday
wait to go
night.
see
If you're
him.
watching this live or on Friday, that's your chance to go see him in St. Louis. You should come see Tim and I instead, though, at Mizzou on
Suddenly.
Wednesday. CJ's, April 11th. Meet and greet 6:30. Come hang out.
I think we should start actively pushing Len to see if we can get them some more views so they can afford to come out here and be on the show.
Kind of funny prom.
Yeah.
But
Oh my
I just feel
God,
like their
yes.
discography isn't as deep. You know what I mean? People are just going to want Steal My Sunshine over and over again.
Yeah, that's
And
fine.
then they're also
only
going to
given
see
them one
this
moment.
episode where we're asking a lot of questions.
Rob,
they
Rob
probably
my
have
moonshine.
answers. Kevin brings up
Their other
a
song.
really, really good point, though. It was probably the producer's fault.
I
know?
did a
It was
quick
the
Google.
director's fault.
Probably
I did a quick
uncomfortable.
Google of Len and incest, seeing if anybody's asked these hard-hitting questions. And apparently, real music journalism was dead when this was happening because no one did. Apparently.
Loader,
But
what
there's
was he
also
up to?
some exactly. There's also some, Tabitha Thorin. Where was she? There's some.
He was the Kurt Loder age. She was another.
She was the
anchor on
redhead.
TV.
Yeah, she was like Kurt Loder's counterpoint.
Let me Google it. Keep talking.
Thank you.
Carson Daly.
He came later.
Not a
But
journalist, though.
It's just, but it's just the fact of.
What's it the fact of?
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Game Over Greggy show each and every week. 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each bringing a random topic discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny. Put a pin in that. You find out about Tabitha Thorin?
Sure did.
What do you got for me?
I mean, it's
You remember her now?
Yeah.
Checks
Yeah,
out.
you recognize her.
Okay.
Good for you, Andy.
Patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can toss us a buck and watch us record the show live, or give us a few more bucks later on. Get it early on Friday as one big MP3, one big video that includes the pre and post show. If you have no bucks to toss our way and don't want to support the company, it's no big deal. Head over to youtube.com/kindafunny, where we can put up the big show.
What?
I love
happening
that. I
behind me?
did not notice that we put the Great Wall of Kevin
Right
on
behind
the
us
back
there.
wall.
If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see it. If you're a
That
podcast
is the
person, where it
best
also goes
thing.
up as a big thing on Friday, you can't.
The Great Wall of Kevin. We have a lot of fun names for each other here. The newest of which, of course, is Andy Four Loco Cortez. But the
Four
Great
Loko.
Wall of Kevin might be the best moniker the audience has ever given Kevin or any one of us, because it's just so adequately explains how he moves around the office.
It's community driven.
Yeah,
Community driven.
yeah. Mhm. One
Today, we're brought to you by Stamps.com and Hims, but I'll tell you more about that later. We're also brought to you by these Patreon producer,
Oh,
not
damn it.
Patreon
I thought it
producers,
was going somewhere
Patreon
else.
people. Of course, you can go support us on patreon.com/kindafunny. Get your name on what we call the infamous scrolling thing. What's that,
Is
Kevin?
that what we call it?
These are August's people.
What's that?
We've fallen so far behind that these are August people.
Fucking
Being
shit.
run in what? April. Are we trying to team them up A to A months? Is that the plan? No, that's not
That
the
sounds
plan.
good.
What happened, Kev? We got
Now-
behind on the names by quite.
Now, if you remember, there was a 5-week period. Hold on 1 second. There was a 5-week period where we did
So
bunch-
saturated.
I hate you guys. Well, I'm sunburned.
5-week period where
Well, now I'm trying to figure out if it's the camera.
it is definitely a mix of the camera and your sunburn.
So in, I think it was in September, we did 5 GOGs like in 2 weeks or something.
Sure.
And then we were ahead. And then it was like, oh, hey, let's hold back the Patreon names till we catch up.
Yeah.
And we'll just be 2 behind.
Yeah.
Well, then life got really busy and we kept forgetting about it. And now we're in April. And
So now we're just knocking them out. Next,
Yep.
all the weeks in a row from here on
I've
out.
added it to the calendar.
Thank
so going into like June.
You're a good man,
We've
Kevin.
got names.
Here's what I want to know, Kevin. What happened to your other arm?
What do you mean?
The green screen cuts off, so it looks like you don't have an arm. Is that what the joke was?
Yes, that was the joke. Thanks, guys.
See, there it is.
Whoa,
Whoa, look at that. Look at
Damn, dude, big sexy.
My favorite thing today was you were like, Kevin asked me if I had any gum, and when I said no, he ate chocolate instead.
He asked for chocolate instead.
I smoked a cigarette.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so because Cool Greg walked into the room and was like, hey, Kevin wants to know if you have any gum. I was like, nah. And he's like, all right. And then Cool Greg went to the kitchen. So I'm walking back to the kitchen. Cool Greg's like, he asked for a chocolate instead. I was like, what are those?
I understand. No, I get it. I get it.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's not making
It's
fun
not
of you.
making
It's
fun,
just
it's
that it's a
celebrating
weird
you.
for Andy. It was just a weird
I
thing.
would have gladly taken an orange as well.
It's celebrating you, Kevin.
What'd you have?
I love oranges.
Yeah.
I love
Why don't we
orange.
ever? Why don't we have oranges here all the
Did you
time?
see the oranges at Let's Play
It's not
Spring
citrus
Break?
season.
A lot of me and Fredo had a lot of oranges.
I
had, like,
saw
one
someone eating a
piece.
tangerine, and I thought that's a lovely little fruit that
Oh,
you
maybe
got
that's
there.
what we're the cuties.
The cuties, yeah, they
Yeah.
had some cuties, which I
Cuties.
always find hilarious. They
There
put
was some
those at the
cuties
craft
there.
service table. It's like those are the last thing people want. Everyone wants the Cheetos first. Jeff was eating Laffy Taffy, and I was like,
Laffy
that's
Taffy,
a weird
weird
choice.
The banana is my favorite flavor, and they were all the all of the bananas that I ate
Banana
were the least.
Laffy Taffy?
Yeah,
That's like the least popular flavor.
Dude,
That's
but,
why I
like
had more
artificial
more than
banana
many.
is the most disgusting
Also true.
fucking
Greg also
flavor.
loves it.
the more the many, dude. Because the thing with banana ones is they were the least chewy of all of them, and I was so pissed off.
I don't think that's true.
Because no, I had a sour apple one, bit into it like a fucking butter on ice.
I like butter on
on
ice.
ice, man.
You're
Hard as nails,
you're like
butter on ice. But that's okay.
85% there with like everything you said recently.
But the banana ones were like, oh my god,
It's
what is
taffy,
wrong
man.
with
That's
these?
what I'm saying. It was the weird choices at the craft service table. You don't put Laffy Taffy, you put red vines. Everybody loves red vines. Where was the giant
I love
tub
red
Everyone
vines.
loves
of
red
red
vines.
vines?
What the
vines.
fuck, Kevin?
That's
Yeah.
not true.
Kevin,
is
eat
We
a
always,
coaster.
every production, we buy them. No one fucking touches them.
No,
Where do
that's
they all go?
not true. Not true. There's so many of them.
looks
It's
like
impossible
we
to make
do
a
buy a
dent.
giant-
I had that
Also-
Costco bundle of red vines at my desk for a long time at IGN.
I love
Nick,
those.
key.
I believe
Made you popular.
the Laffy Taffies, he was walking around with them.
Oh no, Jeff was eating
Yeah,
them.
he no, but I mean like
Sigma
they
Laffy
weren't
Taffy.
sitting anywhere. He
what I
literally
do.
had him under his arm like a cute little pet.
Yeah, Jeff has a big sweet tooth now.
Yeah, I
We
didn't know that.
about him. Yeah,
I didn't
he
know
loves
that.
those. He loves sugar now.
Cute little pet.
It's a thing.
So y'all went to lunch, left me and Kevin here to do all the work with
Yeah,
Andrew and
naturally.
Renee. And you walked back in late, of course, as
3
you
minutes
do.
late.
I'm here running the pre-show by myself.
We had
trying
to get Kevin his food.
Oh my god!
I'm Kevin. We were 3 minutes late. Guess how long it took to get Kevin's thing?
Exactly 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Yeah.
4 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
Damn, we would have been early.
Did you get Kevin's food from the same place you got your food?
Yeah. Yeah. But Kevin wanted caviar on his burrito.
So why?
So we had
he
to go to
wanted
the
a
caviar
handcrafted
store.
tortilla.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of my cross-examination, Kevin. All right.
Guys, we all talked about our stories. Let's stick to them.
No, we're still singing. You're the one fucking shooting holes in our shit, Columbo. What's going on over there?
Oh, I got one more question.
Got one more question. Did you realize you were late when you left too late?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
You ordered your own food, but didn't order
That's-
Kevin's at the same
To
time.
be fair, we ordered Kevin's at the same time. It came, and then I said, we have 10 minutes. We should all go. And we all got up. It just wasn't enough time. Because I think here was the fatal mistake. We left, and then one person realized we didn't bust the table. So instead of being monsters who forever sully the good name of Kind of Funny, we decided it was worth being 2 minutes late, two and a half minutes late max. Go back in, bust the table.
Well, y'all
come
came
out.
in here.
We were also late because we had to stop by Target because I heard they had Nintendo Classics there.
What's
And
the
Kevin
Nintendo
needed
Classic?
caviar.
The SNES Classic Mini.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I just wanted to look
Did
at them. No,
Oh, you
they
just wanted
didn't
to
have- I
price
just wanted
check?
to look at them.
Okay, my apologies. Y'all came in here hot to trot.
Also,
buttholes warming up to let off some of this fucking dose char. You know what I'm saying?
Yesterday, you made us go to Lucky's to look and see if they had hero-themed ice cream.
First off, did I make you? No. I asked Joey Noel when she said that was her plan.
Joey said you made her.
Joey said
Joey said, quote, he made me.
He's making me do this under threat.
I don't want to do this.
Secondly, it was going to be for content for the comic book show. Greg's comic book club on patreon.com.
Look at all the great
with Anthony Carboni, an exclusive show that only posts there for just $1.
Look at all the great content we're getting out of being 3 minutes late. We filled at least 5 minutes with
what
this
I was
dumb
going
gift.
to do. There it is. Yeah. What I was going to do was compliment you idiots.
Yeah.
And you came in here and I said to the chat while eating a Cliff Bar brownie, it was delicious.
You look good.
I don't have a topic. We're just going to talk, I assume. And you guys said we have it covered.
Yeah.
Got it covered.
Tim, what is the topic?
I don't think it should be the only one,
It's
though.
the only topic of the day, ladies and gentlemen. As of recording this, today is Andy Cortez 1 year anniversary at Kinda Funny. Oh, what a beautiful day it is. Our Pomeranian's turning one.
Your 1 year employee review right here.
Topic of the
live.
show is just Andy Cortez. Our Andy's stories, our Andy experiences, all
Is
of the
this
things.
going? My question for you guys is: this going to turn into a roast of Andy Cortez?
I mean-
is it- yeah. Okay.
We just shit all over Kevin for 30 minutes.
That was a warm up. That was a warm up. We had to get all the vile
Gotta get
shit
it out.
out.
Yeah. That's a good thing.
juices
Kevin,
flowing.
I like to think of us often as we're like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
The rattlesnake.
Right.
And
Texas rattlesnake.
Kevin's that little vial with the weird top where they take the fucking head of the rattlesnake and do that and they milk the venom out. I milk my venom into Kevin.
Yeah. Okay.
You ever hear the story of that guy who would do that?
What's that mean, Kevin?
And to make himself more athletic. You ever
No.
see that?
No.
Yeah, so check it out. There's a Vice documentary about a guy who's super into snakes. He looks like he's 27. He's like 45, but he's been slowly injecting snake venom into his blood for the last like 15 years. And it has been apparently making him younger, and he like feels more athletic and stuff.
making him
You have to,
younger.
I mean, you know, it's been like slowing the aging process, and it has all these incredible benefits. But obviously, it's not enough to kill him. But there's been a few times where he's fucked up and like kind of like
OD'd?
stumbled, did more, and it was like, oh god, this is the end. And like
He's
somehow-
doing it straight from the source?
Yeah. He has like a bunch of pet snakes, and he fucking milks their venom. He mixes it with whatever that he needs to like.
Water probably and some
Probably water. Yeah, but what's the word I'm
Coconut
looking
oil.
for? To
Snake breast
Good for
milk.
everything.
well, what's the word, Kevin? Yeah, but what's the word where you're trying to like make it less venom? Dilute. Yeah. So he's like, and he injects into himself like every morning or some shit. It's
I feel
really
like
cool.
this is not
Is
a
this
real
Chadwick
story.
Boseman?
No,
Is
he's
it
a white
Keanu
dude.
Reeves?
But then there's a scene of him like skateboarding down a street. He's like, what? So he's like, I'm skateboarding, and I feel quicker, and like I'm like weaving through traffic easier, and like I don't know, it's really cool.
That's
Check
like
it out, man. It's a
commercial.
Vice documentary.
All right, I'll check it
cool.
out.
We'll look into
It's
it.
really interesting. It's like 20 minutes.
Andy.
So, Andy, what I want to do then, since this has all been dropped on me, is start it with you.
Okay.
What's the first year of working at Kinda Funny been like?
It's been great. It's been more than I could have ever asked for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that real? Has it been more than you asked for? Or is it what you expected?
Well, it was like
Jesus, Tim.
because
Hey,
it's like
this is
I mean,
employee
I know
review.
I know how cool we are.
like if this
Not
is
that
like if
cool.
this was the level, it's like up here and then Kevin like brings it here, so it kind of like
It hits
yeah.
expectations.
It kind of evens out.
Yeah.
There's a yeah, it's been rewarding, man. It's been cool to see people like really receptive to what I do, and
Yeah.
it's fucking cool, man.
For somebody who just listens to this show, which there are a lot that are only don't watch everything we do. What
Right.
do you do it? What is a normal day for you? at
What
Kinda
would you
Funny?
say you do?
What would you?
here at
I-
Kinda
Joey,
I-
take notes too, because
I try to edit, but I always just end up listening to the morning show and like seeing where I can pop in and be an idiot. Yeah, or like Mondays, I am designing stuff for MCU and review, like the screens and everything. And sometimes I can nail it the first time. Sometimes it's too dark or bright, so I have to like correct that shit. I spend 1 day a week working from home, and that's where I get most of my editing time done for Party Mode.
Available every Wednesday, patreon.com/.
And I get on the morning show every Thursday. Me and Nick.
Yeah.
You're on it twice this
Power
week.
Hour twice this week.
Because Greg and Joey are going to.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Get boss. No, it's fine.
Agree to.
We have you've helped start one of the best, some would say the best and only bits that we do on the morning show, which is walking with Jon Snow.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Tomorrow it's gonna be walking with De Niro. I just wanted you to know that.
Oh man, I can only do the face though. I can't do the voice.
Well, you
Do the
better.
face. Do the face. Yeah. That's good. That's real good. That is
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
You do
Yeah,
a lot of
man.
impressions. I appreciate that about you.
I mean, they're super limited, all of them.
Your MCU ones, man. Every episode, you come with the heat.
I never freeze, right?
That's
Chadwick Boseman, dude.
Ask about the bird.
Only 41.
Of the bird.
What about you want your bird?
I want my bird.
There you go.
But that's just like generic Russian. Like,
But it's not.
That's all
It's
Mickey
so,
Rourke
like,
did.
stereotypical.
That's all
Yeah, I
Mickey
guess
Rourke
you're
did.
right.
He
He
didn't
wasn't
do it.
really-
Okay.
he wasn't
guess you're
steady.
right.
He didn't have a dialect coach for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What about your Tony Stark?
I've been trying to expand that because he had a
like it.
line.
There it is.
He had a line where he was talking to Captain America, where he was like getting mad at him when they were like arguing, right? And I don't know exactly what the
I wish I could
line
punch
was.
you in your perfect teeth.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, there's that one too.
Yeah.
But
Sometimes
it's-
I wish I could punch you
with
in your
Iron Man,
perfect
it's just
teeth.
like it's a quick quip, and then I'm Iron Man. So it's always like, there it is, I'm Iron Man, or well, there you go, I'm Iron Man.
Now do Odin.
Odin. This is the impression now.
Yeah, it's great.
But you're not. Dang.
It's great. Yeah. It's
Thanks,
great.
man.
It's really good.
Thanks,
it's really
guys.
Good.
Thanks.
That's really good. Yeah.
That's great.
And so yeah, that's what you've done. At
That's what I do. That's what I do. Yeah. I try to just be like the guy off the bench that can contribute whenever he wants. 6th man of the year.
Sure.
You know.
Sure.
I'm not going to be the star, but I will help boost up what's already going on.
Gotcha.
So that's what I like to think.
I think you're good at that because you
Thanks.
can do any of the shows, pretty much. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I can fake my way through games daily.
You can fake your way through
100%.
games daily. You
Yeah,
can
yeah,
do
yeah.
the games cast. You can do GOG with your eyes closed. Morning show's kind of like your bread and butter.
Yeah,
You can do it all.
I feel most
Obviously,
comfortable on
on
morning show
NCU.
for sure. But yeah, I don't know. I like coming on. I see people like, oh, Andy, we want Andy on Gamescast, like wanting me, and it's like I love coming off the bench every once in a while, like once or twice a month.
Yeah.
I feel super comfortable in that role, and it just so happens that like there are days where I might have a lot of work to do, and it happens to be the one week where like Tim will say like, hey, can you do Gamescast? It's like, yeah, but like. Fuck, I got a lot of shit going on, especially with like merch and stuff. I do a lot of the merch here as well. I used to work at Rooster Teeth. Before that, I worked at another game studio. Used to work at a car dealership. Worked at a golf course for my first job.
You sell hot dogs. You drive the cart.
You a caddy? Did you
Here's
tell
the,
people what wood
here's
to
the
use?
thing. No, here's the fucking
You got a
thing.
snack bar sometimes.
Here's the thing. My good friend Christian Garza. I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
He was 15, I believe. And he was like, "Hey, man, you want a job over the summer? All you do, we just ride around in golf carts and we pick up the balls in the range."
Yeah.
It's like, dude, the fuck yeah, that sounds great. We get there, we are essentially fucking like the landscaping crew. Like they hired 2 16-year-olds to be just landscaping.
Just like mow lawns, trim
Yeah,
hedges.
it
and do
fucking sucked. Like crazy ass, like weird angles and hills and shit.
Man, trial
And I
by
was
fire.
like, this is the worst job ever. Like,
Isn't it weird when you were a kid though, how like you got your first job because your friend just was like, "Hey, you can come work here," and you didn't put
Coffee
anything.
shop.
no, but
into
he
it.
totally oversold it because the prior summer he was just in
He's
the
just
range.
cruising.
He was just in the golf cart, fucking around, getting paid minimum wage,
Yeah.
whatever, $5.25
He
or
fucked
whatever
you.
it was.
My God.
Yeah, and then so I started thinking that's all I was gonna do, and I was basically just like weed eating and
So, like, the
trimming
hardest work
hedges and shit. Yeah,
possible.
it fucking
Like,
sucked.
really hard
And I
manual
was like,
work in the sun.
so you guys could have hired like an actual landscaping crew, but instead let's hire these 2 16-year-olds who like don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I feel like you owe it to them to go back to that golf course and shave
fuck
a
it up.
giant dick into like the
I
ninth
will.
hole.
I will just burn it all to the ground, man.
Or
Yeah.
just something that can grow back.
They called us
without
into a
putting
meeting
you
and
in
they were
jail.
like, guys, 2 of you all have been out there. It's you and Christian have been out there doing the grass cutting and all the shit. It only looks like one person's been doing it. And that's when I was like, later, dog. And I called my dad and I was like, hey, Dad. I think my parents were like visiting Austin at the time. I was like, I'm quitting. Like, I will absolutely look for another job. I'm just not going to do this. Like,
It only
sucks.
looks
Wait,
like
what did your dad
one
do?
person do. What a fucking
What'd your dad say?
asshole.
my dad was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, who tells that to a fucking 16-year-old?
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. It was just like
What
ridiculous.
does it even mean?
I will say this.
I would have been like, I would have done it the opposite way of you, where I would have been, thank you for the compliment. We try to match each other so that nobody knows. Like we want the course
doing
to
what?
have a unified
Yeah.
look to the grass.
We don't want the grass to be greener on the other
There are
side.
18 holes, and we split those holes, but I bet you can't guess which one of us has
Exactly,
which.
exactly.
You know?
That's what it's all about.
Oh, no, man. There's nothing better than quitting a fucking minimum wage job that you
fucking sucked,
hate.
dude. It was like 2.5 weeks, and I was like, I'm good, man.
My first job in college was I used to make pizzas at like an Italian restaurant. I've talked about this before on the show, so I won't bore you guys with the details. But I'll never forget. I fucking hated that job so much. Learned a lot of good work ethic from it because I was like, I'm just going to power through. I only had it for a summer before going away to college. And man, when I quit, the guy was like, you could just stay and like work sometimes here if you want to come. And I was like, no, abso-fucking-lutely not. And I was like, I wonder if every minimum wage job is going to be this hard. And I got my next job at like a Jamba Juice. Or like a Jumpin' Java, one of those like juice places. You don't even remember? Jumpin' Java. I think it was a Jumpin' Java because I think it was juice/coffee, and I don't know if they have those up here.
I've never heard of it.
Jalapeno Jamba Juices.
But dude, it was polar opposite from my first job because all we did was experiment with new types of smoothies and eat power bars. I gained so much weight at that place because you didn't realize in the smoothie
how caloric they are.
Ice cream in this fucking thing.
Yeah,
they're like, oh, we're gonna put a scoop of vanilla and a scoop of sherbet ice cream in your energies, and I'm like, what? And then protein. I was like, let's try some wheatgrass. Yeah, that was when the first time I got initiated into wheatgrass. We would pour us all shots of it.
Initiated into wheatgrass.
Well, they were like, you want to try the wheatgrass? And I was like,
no, and they held you down. They plugged your nose.
I was so scared of that shit as a kid. I'm like,
Wheatgrass?
that's fucking, it's weird as hell.
Weird.
You go to Jamba Juice and you're like, all right, cool, there's all these fun things.
You're
The booths have the cool names. And then you see the weird little pea
Grass
cups
growing out of the thing.
with like just like shards of grass. I'm like, I ain't putting that in my mouth. Like, that's fucking weird, man.
Blades of grass.
Have you ever? There's a Jamba Juice near where I live.
Yeah.
And
I have great stories about that Jamba Juice.
The first time, but long before I even lived there, we were going to Jenny Burger or whatever, and we went by that Jamba Juice. And you told me a story that I want you to know. No matter how many times I'll walk by there going to the farmer's market on Sunday or something, I always think about a young Tim Gettys getting blown in the back of that Jamba Juice.
Hey,
you got blown in the back of a Jamba Juice?
Yeah, it was
That's
either
really
the
cool.
first or second blowjob I ever got. It was a long time
How
ago.
awkward was
Don't
that for you?
remember.
Because
It
that
seems
involves
like
a girl
that'd be
having to
super
touch
awkward.
you.
Oh, I was okay with that.
Okay.
There's certain places I'm okay with being touched.
Okay.
And she got her Jamba Juice
one of
like
them.
all over the place.
She got an energy boost, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
nice,
Jesus
dude.
Christ.
Protein.
Good
You know
for
what I'm
you.
saying?
And I look at it, I'm just like, I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he did it.
I did it, man,
Oh,
and I
dude.
had no fucking. It was, dude. I was at that age where there was nothing in my mind except this is happening.
Sure.
Like I didn't give a fuck who saw what was going on.
Was it behind the closed doors or was it out in the fucking viewing area?
I mean,
He was
in the-
making shakes for someone. What was happening?
It was in
making a smoothie.
it was in the viewing area. The place was
Wow.
closed at the time.
That doesn't really
But I
matter.
mean, there was still windows.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
it's like the Jinx Maze video with the lemonade.
The Jinx
Look it up,
Maze
guys.
video.
I mean, not at work. Don't look it up at work.
Dude, I just
Oh,
remember
Jinx
back in the
Maze.
day, you could rationalize if a girl wanted to touch you, was like willing to touch you, you could rationalize putting a napkin over your penis and pretending like people wouldn't see it. You could be at a crowded fucking crowded coffee shop. You'd be like, we're fine. No one can tell she's like anyone's touching me right now. People are walking by, fucking hiding their kids' eyes. You're like, we're fine.
A question for you all.
Sure.
And we'll get back to Andy. Have you ever caught someone in the act of having sex in a public place or whatever like that?
I never have, no.
Not that I can remember.
Closest I ever got was we were leaving a party and we were in college, obviously, and we were cutting from the house through their backyard, through the front yard of another house back to our house. And we passed, I was ahead of the group and eventually our group caught back up and was like, oh man, we passed that house. There's people having sex in the basement. You're like, what? Like, tell me the story. Like, oh, they're having sex on the ping pong table down there, and we all stopped. And then they heard us and they ran away. I was like, oh man, that's crazy. Also, kind of home invasion-y of you looking through their basement windows. But it's
peeping
college.
Tom.
It's college, whatever.
Yeah.
What's yours? You nodded your head yes.
Oh,
immediately.
there's been multiple times. The two that come to mind immediately are
Are they all Alfredo?
There was no, they're not all Alfredo. I'm not even gonna go there. That's story for another time. But this was fairly recently, like the last 2 years.
Wow.
It was me and Gio were just hanging out, and then we looked over, and it was at a some festival in Golden Gate Park.
Oh, okay.
And
Bluegrass
Yeah,
Fest.
Bluegrass
some
Fest.
shit like that, or you know what?
Outlands,
it was like
Outside
Outlands. Outside lands.
It wasn't music. I don't know.
traveled
There was
to the
fucking
future
food.
and you
Doesn't
watched-
matter. Doesn't matter.
You watched
There
a
was
younger you getting blown in a Jamba Juice.
But no, I saw some dude fingering a girl.
Jesus.
Now here's the thing.
Did
It
she know what
was
happening?
they were both fully clothed.
Yeah.
And it was him from behind.
Yeah, hot.
And I was like, there's some engineering going on here. I was like,
Were they
I gotta
sitting or standing?
Standing.
Long finger.
I was like, I gotta respect this. I gotta respect this
That's-
hustle.
when you
He
got
was
the
so
size,
drunk.
you can go from any angle, man.
Yeah.
It just
I don't
seems
know, it
like
was impressive.
The smarter thing to do would be act like you're promposing or cuddling, and then just slide the hand in the front.
Yeah, that seems
in the
easier.
back. You're drunk. You're not thinking. That's a
dude,
weird.
It looked
That's
crazy,
graphic.
man. And they were both they were both into it. It was very wiggly.
I thought you were gonna say like earlier when you were like, yeah, so he was fingering her, but here's the thing. Didn't have arms. What? I was just waiting for some weird
There was
turn.
the other story. It was high school, and there was a bunch of people that were super drunk, and we were at this like crazy ass mansion. I don't remember how the fuck this happened, but it was one of those places where there was a lot of glass walls, so you could see into other things. And there's this giant room, and two people that I know went in, and they were drunk and fucking, both butt ass naked, just fucking on the floor, and. As they were doing it, the lights were off, so they didn't realize that all the walls were glass. Someone ends up turning the lights on, and then it just turned into the entire party just watching these people fuck.
They didn't stop?
No, they didn't stop at all. In
Good
fact,
for them. They were
made it
harder.
go harder. Yeah.
Jesus.
But it was just like, wow, this is a weird shared experience we're all having right now.
Daredorm.com. I saw that video.
Yeah, damn,
I saw it.
bro. Yeah, no, it was
You
weird.
guys know a lot about porn.
Yeah, dude.
No, let's rephrase that. You don't know much.
That's true.
Sure, that's fair.
We know
That's
an
fair.
accurate amount, like an obvious amount about porn. No, I've never seen people in public before. I don't think. No, only my friends. I walked in on a friend one time, and I just felt so bad because we didn't know he was like hooking up with this girl. And it wasn't that I don't think he was ashamed about it. Just they weren't ready to tell people that
Sure.
was part of the relationship yet. And I remember I was very new. Like I hadn't had sex yet. And this is one of my close nerd friends from high school. So I walked in.
Is
and
a band guy?
Yeah, he was one of my band friends. And we were at his house. It was one of those things where like we were all over 18. I think at the time, maybe it was the summer before college. So I can't remember. It was that time when you were like, I should know more about sex than I do, and I should have reacted differently.
Like I know a lot.
But no, I did the opposite where I like this shock. We were looking at my buddy because we were trying to say bye. And the shock, like I opened
You
his
passed
parents'
out, fainted?
door and I just saw his
Landed on them.
asshole
Yeah.
pumping. Just pumping. And I was like, and I saw two legs, like her legs coming off. I was like, but fully clothed, but just his asshole was like pumping because they had just like, boom, let's just do it real quick.
You said asshole, right?
Yeah, no, it was like, what the, like you saw as it opened it up to pump and then thrust back in and closed. Then opened it up and I was
sucking
like,
in air and shit,
like you know how you're just never prepared to see your friend's hairy asshole? Like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just never.
I'm familiar.
You're
yeah.
never prepared. Like your friend's like, hi, it's gonna be hilarious. You're like, I never want to see that again. It's disturbing.
Yeah.
So I shut the door and I was like, I can't believe I just saw that. And then my other, like, he noticed, he saw me. He was like, you shut the fucking door, shut the fucking door. And I was like, I'm sorry.
The
And I
third
shut
eye
door.
asshole side.
And then my other buddy, who had also been looking for my friend, came up and was like, hey, did you find so-and-so?
Like, yeah, they're in the bedroom.
And
Go
I was
say hi.
like, and I just opened the door again. And I thought it was hilarious. And my other friend thought it was hilarious. But the guy whose asshole I was staring at got up and chased me around the house. He was like,
Oh,
you
no.
motherfucker.
With his
Dick hanging
fucking
around
baseball bat out?
Yeah, we laugh about it now.
Of course you
But
do.
there's been like, 20 years since I was in high school. So it was a dick thing to do, but I just thought it was
Yeah.
hilarious. I was like,
Oh,
this would be a
sounds
funny
funny.
thing for my other friend. And boy, he saw that and was like, wow. You're a fucking asshole when you're a kid. Like,
You're
I was-
stupid. You
part
are.
of me was jealous that he was getting to have sex. And I was
course.
like, oh, I'm going to fucking, this will be
Ruin
hilarious.
this for him.
But also, lock the door if you're fucking in your parents' bedroom. Lock
Yeah,
the door.
that's a good call.
Your parents'
That's a good call.
bedroom is the only place in the house that's allowed to have a lock for a reason. Because your parents don't want you walking in, seeing right into your dad's Sarlacc pit.
Just
Boba Fett. Boba Fett.
So Andy,
hey, Greg.
how'd you find Kind of Funny?
Oh, we're back to that.
Yes, this is the Andy show. Remember?
Cool.
We can diverge into.
I think I
assholes.
might make the headline for this. Public sex stories or something.
That'll probably perform better.
Yeah.
But you could also do looking into an asshole with Andy Cortez.
Oh, the terrible human
Deep asshole gazing with Andy Cortez.
Yeah.
I found Kind of Funny. It was Beyond. It was you can call it Beyond.
Yeah.
Because I was just looking for a podcast to listen to when I was like at the end of college. So maybe like 2012-ish.
That checks out.
And I would listen to Beyond, fucking Podcast Unlocked, The Besties, Polygon.
Sure.
Yeah, and then it just sort of went from there. And then when y'all made the jump over here and went independent, stuck with y'all. Well, the thing was, and I've talked about this, I think I mentioned this on like the first podcast I did when it was like Andy's personal history or whatever on Gamescast, where like I didn't know that I wanted... You guys were the video game guys. Sure. I didn't know that I wanted normal podcasts, non-gaming topics from my video game people. That was just like, no. They talk video games. I don't want.
That's what I know them for. That's what I want.
Yeah, I don't want to hear them talk about whatever. And it was the same thing with like.
Fucking pumping assholes.
It was the same thing with like with the McElroy brothers because they had Mabim Bam, which is just like their fucking advice podcast or whatever. But to me, they were the video game guys, so like I didn't really listen to a whole lot of that either. And then it wasn't until I got my first industry job that I was desperate for like shit to listen to.
Yeah.
So I just started listening to everything.
Because you're sitting at a computer all day long.
Yeah.
Animating, working.
Yeah. So that's when it was like, all right, I need things to listen to, and I would run out constantly of shit to listen to.
The Levitard show that you listen to religiously now.
Yeah.
Did you listen to that back then?
Like in 2013 when I had first gotten my job, they were the show that I heard. I was like, fuck this. Who are these? I don't want to. They're not even talking about sports. And then I was like, I get it. I love them. But yeah, and to the point where in my first industry job, like I would constantly run out of shit to listen to, and it fucking sucks. I would switch to music,
and
that's when I listened to a lot more music than I do now. And now, whenever people are like, "Hey, what are you listening to?" It's like all I have time for is like the Levitard show, and maybe when the Besties come out because the Besties Polygon podcast ended, and then they brought it back like after a year or two. So.
Last thing about this Levitard show is I've never seen a man addicted to a podcast like you are. And I'm sure they exist. I'm sure some people are addicted to us. That's a siren here in our real life, not coming up on you.
No, it was the same way with you guys. Like when
what the fuck siren was that? Is that the zombie alert?
Serious. That's somebody's really fucked up.
Okay.
That means a car might have just lost contact with gravity.
Am I not crazy that it's only this office where we hear sirens that are fucking insane sounding?
Super weird.
Again, because we're getting the serious shit. We're the hazmat shit.
No, when I'm at Robbins in the Tenderloin, I hear that shit all the time.
No, you hear some crazy shit in the Tenderloin.
Yeah. Addicted to podcasts.
Because I mean, like you are listening to Levitard all the time.
But yeah,
all the time.
Well, only
like
because
at the airport, you don't ignore us and you put in headphones.
That's all I have to listen to now. Like, and I have to catch up.
How much content do they put out?
They put out they do a 4-hour radio show, which is essentially narrowed down to like a 2.5-hour podcast without commercials.
Per day or per week?
Per day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a lot of content.
They do a local hour for Miami. When they made the big jump to ESPN, and ESPN was like, we really want you guys. You guys are like killing it. They said, okay, but we still want to do a Miami show. So we'll do 1 hour. That's a local Miami show where they only talk about Miami sports because that's where they came from. And they do a 3-hour national broadcast.
That's so awesome that they do that.
So
it's a lot though. How do you keep up with that though?
I just Spotify.
You just keep listening to it all day, every
Spotify,
day.
Yeah,
because that's the thing is like I listen to a lot of podcasts now, and now I've fallen out where I can't just follow one person. But if the podcast is longer than an hour, it takes me multiple days to finish, and that's what's hard.
Yeah, well, it takes even longer. I mean, I listen to so little shit now because of like editing is you can't edit and listen to stuff, and it sucks. But when I'm designing shirts or whatever, like I fucking knock shit out all the time. But yeah, I haven't missed a Levitard show in like, I don't know, 2.5, 3 years or something like that.
Crazy. 4 hours a day. I mean, you can skip the ads and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, but back in the day, like when Colin and Greg or the Kind of Funny Morning Show was going live at 1 p.m., it's like, all right, I have to be on Twitch.
Yeah.
If I'm in the car, if I'm in line at fucking Whataburger or something, I'm putting it on. You know, like it was the same thing back then, I'd say.
Yeah.
And I guess I always get asked about like, oh, what do you listen to nowadays music-wise? And it's like, fucking nothing, man. I don't know anything about music anymore.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to miss a radio show. I don't want to miss a new episode of Levitard Show, or if there's a really good guest at like on Nerdist. I really want to check that out too.
Sure. Yeah.
If they had a Patreon, would you support them?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm guessing they don't need one though. If they're a nationally syndicated ESPN show, they probably get compensated fairly well.
They are like the most successful thing at ESPN, and they are just climbing and climbing and climbing.
They're so even the few minutes that I've listened to of those guys, they're really really funny.
Is one of them the bald guy with the glasses?
Bald guy glasses? No.
Every time ESPN's on at it.
Oh, that's Scott Van Pelt.
I was going Michael Wilbon.
Scott Van Pelt, black guy or white guy?
White guy.
White guy. Scott Van Pelt. Yeah, he's kind of like the most recognizable face, I'd say, at ESPN. He's sort of hosts the flagship Sports Center, which happens like at 10 p.m., which is the one that has the highest ratings that everybody watches. Yeah, he's the most famous dude for sure.
Did you ever listen to any sports podcast stuff?
Not podcast, but PTI was part of the regimen when I'd work summer jobs, and not multiple times, but there was one summer in particular working at this paper factory paper company or packaging company that my mom worked at. I just worked in the warehouse and did a bunch of stuff, and so I forget what time I got off at, but I made it home to catch the last 15 minutes of Sports Center, and then it was right into PTI, and it was during the whole Tiger Woods sex scandal part or whatever, and like that stuff was happening. Yeah. Oh, and no, it wasn't
taking over the headlines.
Yeah, that I remember watching. I must have been watching it when that happened as well. But actually, it was the Kobe one when Kobe was accused of rape, and there was like all that stuff happening nonstop. But yeah, PTI. It's like when you've watched PTI, obviously,
yeah, of course.
Like, and I know you guys haven't. Probably you've probably seen it.
I've seen it. Yeah.
PTI.
They started the whole
like being in video production. You know what fucking PTI
they started
is.
No, I know that you know what it was. That was what I was
culture.
saying.
Like they started debate television, in my opinion. Like they popularized it.
Sure.
To which they became the model. You know. Right.
Yeah, but the thing about it is the same thing I see with you and Lebitard, where it's like I think you can watch that show, and it's similar. I think people who would watch PS I Love You or Beyond and not care about PlayStation and be like, I don't necessarily care about the subject material, but the way they interact and the way they talk is good. You know what I mean? That's like what it's about.
That's the way I see it. So when I was in college, when I got my first job in game development, I'd get to work super early, like at 7 a.m., 6 or 8 a.m., 7 or 8 a.m., and Mike and Mike show was about to end. And so I would listen to the tail end of that, and then I would listen to, next was Colin Cowherd. He had his ESPN show, listened to that for like 2 hours. And then Scott Van Pelt, the ball dude, used to have a radio show with this guy named Ryan Russillo. And so it was like sports all day.
Yeah.
And then once I started listening to the Lebitard show, and they point out how ridiculous all sports coverage is and how like pointless it is to care this much about sports in such a like a... where they make fun of Wednesdays because nothing is fucking happening on a Wednesday. So it's like, oh, it's Wednesday. Let's see what SportsCenter's talking about. Let's see what they drummed up to sort of.
Yeah, what they had to keep the cycle going.
How would you rank the quarterback? It's like, yeah, it's Wednesday. Like, they point out how ridiculous all of sports media is. That's why they have their polling system, because it originally started off as the Twitter poll to make fun of sports Twitter polls. Were like, where would you rank Johnny Manziel? As like they just sort of make a mockery of all of it, and they kind of ruined my sports experience, because it's like, yeah, this all is really stupid, and who gives a fuck about any of this? And they just have fun for 70% of the show, and they maybe talk sports for 30 of it.
Yeah, that's where you're jumping off.
Yeah.
Because every time you tell me a joke from it, it's like, even if I'm not paying attention to that sport, right? If I have no history or background to it, what they're doing is funny enough that it works. It transcends the medium. Or
and Dan Lebitard's a super, I mean, he came from Miami Herald. He's a writer at heart.
Yeah.
He's super well spoken and well thought out, and when he has a good point, it's really interesting to listen to. It's like, fuck, man, that's a great point.
Yeah.
And then they move on to something else, and it's ridiculous, and it's fun, and it's like, man, that is. Every day I listen, I was like, that's so fucking creative. I wish I thought of that. Like that happens all the time when I listen to that show.
So you're here a year now. What has surprised you in this first year of actually working here, not just being on the outside? Because I remember, I think you spring to a recognizable state, I think, when you're in the Twitch chat, right? I think, and I want to say when I'm doing like my Twitch, when it was GameOverGreggy, Maximum Cortez would pop in.
You were doing like a Galgun stream
back
in the day.
And that was that. Well, that's where I remember Zyger also became a thing of like, how do you know so much about this weird game, kid? But yeah, your name was so, I know that name. And then I forget how it was that Tim one day was like, oh yeah, and this Andy Cortez, Maximum Cortez, he's good. It
was art stuff. Like we had been talking about stuff. Like you did
I drew all of you as the video game characters.
Me as Ash, that is now featured in Gamescast in the opening.
Yeah,
that image.
That was like 3 weeks before RTX 2015, and I was visiting home in the RGV.
They didn't play
burping a lot, man. This fucking LaCroix is making me burp. Like, also
throw
the
up some
Mexican
Four
food.
Loko? Okay.
The Mexican food also.
Your ass was pulsating too.
So I had my laptop at home, and I was working on that fan art, and where I drew Colin as Mega Man, you as Solid Snake, Nick as fucking Little Mac from Project Shadow Boxer, and Tim as Ash. And I was drawing that, and I just sort of like put out a little teaser and tagged y'all in it, and you're like, holy shit, that's fucking cool. And it was like 2 weeks before RTX, and I knew that I wanted to have it done by the time RTX came. And I was visiting my parents, and I remember like talking to them about this fan art and being like, yeah, one day they might hire, and who fucking knows? Like I remember telling my dad that.
And he's like, oh, okay, mijo.
Yeah, and he was like, well, that's not. They don't develop video games. That's what you went to school for. That was my dad's initial worry about all of this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's not your degree, you know? Or don't you want to make video games like you went to school for and will pay out the ass for the rest of your life? Yeah. And then we went to RTX, and that's where I met all of you guys. So RTX was my first convention where I was going to see something that I cared for, because PAX South, I went as a representative for the game I was at, working at Richard Garriott's. It actually just got released after like 5 years of like Kickstarter development or whatever. But I was working at PAX South at the booth, and that was my first convention. That was PAX South 2015.
The first PAX South.
The first PAX South, yeah. And then 4 months later was RTX 2015. And that's where I always have seen myself as someone who's pretty like, I'm to myself. I don't really, whenever I would see anybody that I care for, it's like, I don't want to ask them for a picture. Sure. I don't want to be weird.
Yeah,
like, I don't want to annoy them or whatever. So this is the like kind of like my breaking out moment of like, fuck, I'm going to meet people that I've been talking to on the internet for a long time. This is going to be weird as shit. Do I want to do this? Like, this isn't what I do. Like, I don't know. It just seemed like totally out of the ordinary for me. And it was cool. And I met up at the hotel with Sean Pitts, with Zyger, and fucking Frank Bazzani, and that's where I met like everybody that I still know to this day. Yeah, Alex Aziz and all those dudes. And that's where it all started, I guess.
Joey Maloney.
Maloney? I've always said Malone.
I call him Joey Maloney because it's Joey Fatoni.
Oh.
And they're both wrong. I think it's Malone.
I think it's Malone. Pretty sure it's Malone. Yeah. Most ADD. Yeah, I met him there
depends
too.
on how, by the way, it depends on how they choose to pronounce that, because he has the E at the end of it. Could be Maloney.
I think it's Maloney.
Really?
Based on talking to him.
Fuck,
he gave me his Best Buy.
I've always called him
shirt
Malone. Shit.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
That was the panel that he's
That's where we
talking
brought all
about.
the chicken.
That's right.
That was the panel. Yeah.
All that chicken being 2 pieces of chicken. But we brought chicken.
Well, you know.
Or was that the one
fixed it this
where Gus got hit in the face?
We brought, the chicken. We were in a
was
small room.
later.
We were in a small room. And
That
they're
was
like,
later.
oh, you guys did good. We'll put you in a
Fucking
big room. And then we cut Gus's head open.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
fucking
that's right.
almost killed one of the founders of RT.
Jared Straub played a lot of Smash in that hotel room. Yeah, it was cool shit. But again, I would see you all, and I saw you all at the meetup, and I was like, I just want to like kind of wave and be like, hey, what's up, guys? I'm the guy who made that. I don't want to like try to like, hey, cling on and shit.
I was in the meetup at Easy Tiger.
Yeah.
Right?
Fucking hot.
Cool ass place,
So
way
hot.
too fucking hot.
Fucking
It was like
billion degrees.
102,
We're
Yeah.
outside in the back.
and we were eating like hot ass pretzels. It was
There's
so good.
Pretzels are great,
Pixel Brave did I think his first ever Kind of Funny meet and greet
Video there?
at that meet
Wow,
and greet.
wow,
Yeah,
holy shit.
And I use that footage all the time for sizzle reels.
I
and
still
shit
have
we do.
videos of when I asked you all to record a message to send to my friend Jim. And like I've known Jim for like most of my life since middle school. And I was telling Nick this on the morning show the other day. I never knew that he was a Kind of Funny fan until a little bit before that RTX, when he saw like that I liked Kind of Funny on Facebook, and he was like, "You like Kind of Funny?" I was like, "Yeah, you do too." Like it was a really cool
That's
moment between us. Yeah.
So, when you talk about it to your parents then, when you go to the meetup, how do you view us? Is the best friend moniker what you're thinking of? You don't want to approach us. I mean, do you think of us in terms of, is it intimidating to talk to us, or not celebrity in the way like?
Oh no, it
George
was totally
Clooney?
it was totally that way. The same way I felt the same way I felt at E3 when I saw Neil Druckmann, like that level. I was like, I'm nervous. I want to say hi. I don't want to talk too much. I'm like just like super in my own head about not trying to act like a dumbass and not trying to annoy. Because I never want to be a burden on people. That's like how I've sort of been my whole life, I guess.
Because I feel like, we don't think about it the way the audience, the best friend, thinks about it, right? Because when I say best friend, I of course mean it. And if you're watching the show, you know that already. I don't need to beat that dead horse for the millionth time. But it is that thing of at a meet and greet when somebody drops and I get the chance to, trying to meet everybody and talk to everybody. I do turn to you and feel like, all right, cool, we're already cool. We don't need to worry about it. And I don't know it from the other side in our terms, or like I know what it was like to meet Chris Jericho or something like that, but I don't think of us as Chris Jericho. You know what I mean? Like it's that weird thing. And I always think back to when you and I got teamed up for the free play thing, when you were already working at RT, and we needed a kind of funny member, but I was the only one in town. So like, oh, Andy, make sure let's go get Andy. And I remember we did the first part, or we met and did something real quick, and then we had to go somewhere, and I climbed in your car, and we were driving over there. And I remember turning, I'm like, is this weird for you? And you're like, yeah, real weird. And I'm like, oh, sorry, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, because before that, like we talked fairly often because you designed majority of our shirts up to that point.
A lot of the T-shirt Tuesdays, and you guys were looking for a designer to sort of create the template of what kind of funny stuff would look like. So all these different logos or whatever. And I knew I wasn't like, I think Tim had asked for like, hey, send us your resumes or send us your portfolios. I don't have a portfolio for graphic design. That's not what my portfolio is all like video game art and 3D art. And here are my models. And here's how I can make tiling textures and shit like that. And I emailed Tim and I was like, hey, you know, I don't have a portfolio for graphic design, but I can probably make art. So I'm just going to throw my fucking name in the hat or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
And then so we ended up getting Zach Silver to do all of like the logo stuff. But then there's a lot of things where you'd collaborate with him or like you would just come up with the shirt designs or just fun random images that we would use for different things. I like the garbage truck on fire logo.
The Cheeky Nando emote.
Yeah.
Remember Cheeky Nando's?
Yeah, a bunch of stuff like that. And then it got to the point where it's like we would talk fairly often about like things coming up. And I remember leading into the Rooster Teeth announcement where we were partnering with them. And I know you were a big Rooster Teeth fan. I called you. I was like, so here's the deal.
Yeah.
This is going to happen. We needed like a full new merch.
Well, I was
lineup.
already working there by that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so we kind of had you like double team and all that stuff. And you made like 12 designs for us for that. The relaunch.
I remember
when we
it was
announced KFL2.
during South by Southwest, I believe. There was some music festival, maybe ACL Fest. I'm not sure. But yeah, you would call me and you're like, hey, we need some shirts. We need them in 2 weeks or like a week or I don't know.
Kind of funny.
I was like, fuck. All right. Well, what? So I had stuff kind of in the oven that I hadn't fully fleshed out or whatever.
The super kind of funny shirt and
the Game Boy one,
shirt, the kind of funny games one.
But back in the day,
then Greg was going to Texas, and then you were like, "Fuck, like who should I get?" I was like, "You need to get Andy.
Yeah,
like this is gonna be like."
Yeah,
so that's when they made the big head for you.
And I talked about this also on that first Gamescast where, like, I'd been working at Rooster Teeth for a couple months by that point, maybe 3-4 months.
Sure.
And sitting there in the desk, nobody knows who the fuck I am. Like, obviously, the games team already kind of knew me by then. But then in walks Meg Turney, FHM's like number whatever hottest woman in the world or whatever, and like super popular on the internet. She's like, I'm looking for Andy Cortez, and I was like, what the fuck is she asking me for? I was like super nervous, and immediately like my heart started beating. I was like, oh my god, what is going on? I was like super worried. She's like, Greg Miller wants you to be his teammate for the Free Play 100, where on our show Free Play, we're gonna ride around in little carts and drink beer. I was like, fuck yeah, cool, all right. Like it was like my first opportunity.
Your boss is like, what the fuck, Andy?
Yeah, it was just cool shit. But I don't know. Like I think the team also. On the games team, I would always try to get front facing and like
you became their mascot.
I kind of did, yeah. I kind of did, I guess. I don't know. I like to go into conventions and just like talking to people, and I always felt like me and Brian were probably the more personable ones there, where like we could just talk and shoot the shit with people or whatever at conventions. So I don't know. It was cool shit, man. It was awesome, and we got wasted, and I mean we didn't get wasted, but
we drank a lot. Yeah. That's what you do.
Did you know the concept of the free play? There are these little carts that you buy, Nick, and they are what little you buy for little kids essentially.
Big wheels.
Well, not really big wheels, because you turn the handles and it propels you forward.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I'm familiar.
And so like you have to keep wiggling it in order to keep moving forward. Well, the concept was it was a Mario Kart don't drink and drive. Mm-hmm. So before the race started, it was like me and Greg would switch off the cart between laps. Before the race started, they'd say go, and you had to drink a beer before the last lap ended. So you could start off all the way and then drink a beer before you hit the check mark.
So they essentially stole that from Revenge of the Nerds. Just want you to know.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. Just so everyone knows that Rooster Teeth is just not clever at all.
Nah, totally. Bunch of ripped off ideas, dude. Laser Team, Halo.
Jesus Christ, I never put 2 and 2 together on that one.
I know. And so we got... it was like me and Greg going we were together on a team.
Yeah.
It was cool shit. It was like my first experience ever dealing with their production team, and the first time ever being on camera in any capacity that was like an actual show, and it wasn't just like a behind the scenes thing or whatever.
You can find that video now.
Yeah,
if you YouTube.
Go to
Freeplay
Freeplay
Mario Kart.
1,100.
No, this is not the one where Greg decided to post up in the middle of the road and slap shit out of people's hands.
Nope,
as they
that's
ran
what it was.
past
No,
him.
that's the one.
That's the one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I
But
do
when I needed
recall
to buy
this.
his time, I just sprawled out across the entire track and everybody hit
He
my
wanted
fucking
to stop
naked
everybody
body.
from
Yeah.
racing, so he just laid in front of everybody and they couldn't
It was
drive past.
pandemonium. It was fun. It was just
It was a
fun.
good time.
I was
It
having
was
a
good.
good time.
It was a good video.
So back to my original question, Andy. The question was, now that we have all this background research, you're celebrating your 1 year anniversary here. What has surprised you in this first year about being a Kind of Funny? Or us, or whatever. What surprised you?
How busy everything is.
Yeah.
Absolutely how busy everything is. And when I was a fan, I would wonder all the time, why don't they make this? Why don't they do this? Why don't they do that?
Sure.
I never said it
Of course you didn't.
because,
You're a
respectful.
punk ass.
But I would think it
It seems so easy. Why aren't they doing this thing?
Totally. And I see what goes into it, and it's fucking nuts. Where there's a call every fucking day.
Right after this podcast, I'm onto a conference call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're on to another show after that.
Sure.
Which is, and it's awesome and it's rewarding, but it's exhausting. It can be exhausting at times. So that's the thing that I was sort of shocked by, for sure.
What could we do better? I feel like it was easy, and this is going to sound not insulting, I guess. It's easy when we had Kevin. Because Kevin came on so early and from the get-go was such an integral part that even though he wasn't one of the founders, he always felt like it. So I don't know what end of January, beginning of February is Kevin's anniversary, but like March, yeah, like I don't know when we really brought him on. I just remember crying at the kitchen table trying to edit videos and be like, we need Kevin right now. And that was when we had to Harry and the Hendersons and like send him into the woods like, you can't play with us anymore. IGN needs you. We got to go do our own thing. But like you being the first, and like even Joey, right? We had Joey part-time and Cool Greg was part-time. There's all these different things, but like you and Joey starting full-time here, it never felt like we hired you guys. Like it was that thing of like, oh, Andy's moving across the country. Oh, to come work here. Fuck, right. That's gonna thing. And he'll be here on a Monday. Okay,
of us.
Andy's here. Hi, Andy. All right, we're gonna go about our own thing. And like, I don't think to, like, it'd be awesome, right? In the same way for our guests, but probably more important for our employees of like, welcome to Kind of Funny. Here's a bag with a Kind of Funny cup and a shirt and this and blah, blah, blah. And probably put on the calendar your anniversary. So when your anniversary comes around, we make a big deal about it. And it's, we have done the giveaway stuff?
Yeah, when Joey and Andy started, I was like, here's a cup.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. But I'm even more produced. I'm just saying, I know you did it. You did it.
I did a whole spectacle.
Did you? Where was I?
Kevin literally did a cartwheel with a cup in his hand full of coffee, didn't spill a drop.
Wow.
Put it on the table.
What a spectacle indeed. But that, and then like, we just had GDC. And like that
I was
was
just gonna talk about that,
that was a fucking fail moment for me. And I was like, fuck, I didn't think about it. That GDC comes around. It is in our hometown. It is my 12th GDC, right? It is so run of the mill, a normal thing. The party invites come in. I RSVP'd everything. I put it on the schedule. And then like I texted you the night after the first party, the indie mix thing, where I was just like, oh, hey, man, we were talking about something else, right? And then I was also like, and hey, I was at this thing tonight. Everybody's asking about you. And everybody's talking about everybody. And you're like, what, really? Fuck, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh, would you have wanted to come to this? Like, it didn't even dawn on me to put out like a company-wide email to like you and Joey and everybody else and be like, hey.
I know I'm not at the level of Greg Miller to just feel like I can fucking walk into a party or whatever and like, you know what I mean? Like,
Dude, I'm telling you this right now.
Fake
You were
it
at
to
that
me.
fucking, you never get to that level.
But it's
Like
the same thing of like when I started, it was that Roper and Haynes and like Dunham were like, oh, go to this thing. You should go. We're taking you to this. You know what I mean? And I don't have that mentality yet at Kind of Funny because like, oh, it's Andy. Andy's been around forever. Andy's been part of Kind of Funny forever. Joey's been part of Kind of Funny forever.
Yeah.
I don't need to say to them, oh, and like fucking today, I'm finally talking about PAX East because now we're a day away and that's how far ahead I get to think about anything. And Joey's like, cool, I've never been to a PAX before. Like, what is it like? What do I do? I'm like, oh, okay, let's have a conversation.
Really?
Yeah.
Is she not?
Well, maybe PAX
We're
East.
back south.
Okay, she's never been to
That
a real
doesn't count.
PAX.
That's
All
not
right,
real
I'm sorry.
PAX.
PAX South is very cute. It's awesome.
Well, you've never been
it's
to a
awesome
PAX
that you
South,
guys
so
haven't.
maybe you don't know
you
about
have an
PAX South,
NXT
and she
down
can
there
teach
that'll
you a
bleed
fucking
into
thing
the-
or
PAX
two.
South rules, man. Anyway,
GDC is hard though because we're such a small group. Like at IGN, it was different because you had so many different resources. Here, there's 7 of us, so like if you go to that party, you still have to edit party mode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why
Oh,
it's different.
Well,
totally.
it's not even that. It's just the fact of I'm so used to being the social butterfly for Kind of Funny.
Sure.
In the way that you always just want to go home and go do your thing and go to comedy and go this stuff. Tim on a rare occasion will want to go to an event, but usually it's something
I'm targeted. I
Yeah,
know what I
exactly.
want. I know what I need.
and I want to be there pressing the flesh. You know what I mean? Seeing
yeah.
all these indie games, talking, seeing what's the next big thing.
yeah,
doing all that
there was a moment, one of the evenings that like I think Joey and I and Kevin had to stay here all late, right?
Yeah.
And Joey and I were like, "Are we invited to this thing? like what things are we allowed to go to?" And I was like, I didn't want to ask because I didn't want to be told no. That's like that's one reason why I hate
You're such
asking
a
for.
bitch.
I'm just so I hate fucking being denied. I hate being denied stuff, which is like I don't know. I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, you're going to that party, Greg, and you'd be like, oh, you're not invited.
are you?
Yeah, I'd have been like, oh, I would have felt horrible. So
Have we ever
I'd rather
denied
not
you
ask.
anything?
I'd rather not ask.
Ever?
Yeah, that's true.
Here's the thing. I'll tell you right now. I want you to strap your dick on. Because at E3 now, we're going to go at it like we're 23.
Oh, yeah.
All right? I'll fucking show you. I'll
yeah.
treat. Here's what we got. We got to
I'm
get.
so excited for
Let's all
E3.
get fucking
It is
Kind of
really
Funny blue
fucking
suits,
tight.
and we just fucking tear E3 a new one every night. I'm in for kind of.
I'm so excited
Kind of
for
Funny blue
E3.
shirts. I mean, he was in the Sex Swing last year. I don't know if he want to be. I mean, we haven't figured any of that out. You know what I mean?
We would need him for editing, yeah.
Yeah, we'll probably
Yeah.
need him. I think
Yeah.
everyone's going.
Yeah, we're gonna get wild. We're gonna buck wild. I'll take you to some
I'm
parties. I'll
excited.
show you some things.
I'm excited to hear it.
You haven't lived until Shuhei Yoshida's taking a swing at you. All right, that's what we're
Or
getting to.
ask you to
Have any
dance
of us
in that
lived?
way.
Have any of us
No,
lived?
none of us have.
He's like, by that
I thought you were
definition,
gonna
yeah,
say
I'm
like
still dead.
you haven't lived until Shuhei's done a shot out of your belly button or like something like really gross or some shit.
Well, I don't know
John
if we
Drake's
can
done a
ask
shot
him
out
that.
of Kevin, so that's close.
That's disgusting.
Wait, did he do a shot or did he just lick my stomach?
I don't remember.
No,
I did a
Tim did
shot.
the shot.
Okay.
Oh,
I've had some
Extra
shot-
life,
for the
everybody.
big, beautiful fucking kids.
Wasn't
Nick.
worth it.
that liquid
No.
jostled
I
around
was
that
like, that's
fucking
not big. That's not
that
worth
big
nothing's
belly
worth
hole.
that.
Ew, don't call it a
Jesus.
belly hole.
so gross. It was
So then,
gross.
outside of that stuff, what could we do better?
Be less busy. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't have an answer. I don't really.
Yeah.
It's like when I left Rooster Teeth and they're like, "What could we do to improve?" And it's like nothing. I'm just going to a place where I feel like
Going to a better place.
no. It's. I don't know. Like when I told my boss that I was quitting Rooster Teeth to work over here, and he asked, "Where are you going?" and he was kind of disappointed, and I said, "Kind of funny." He was like, "Okay, I get it."
He's like, all right, see you
Like,
in
cause
4 years.
and I think he always saw that I could like the funny guy Andy. Like it was like that. That's who I was in the studio. Like,
Yeah.
They. And he texted me recently. He's like, "Hey, we got someone who's trying to replace you, but they're not doing a great job. Like he's kind of fucking around, you know."
Oh, okay.
Like
Trying to be the new funny guy.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly,
okay.
exactly.
Not like this new guy we hired to be your job sucks.
Yeah, so he always saw that I could. I think he always saw that was going to be in my future, getting on camera and doing shit. And at one point they wanted to do like Rooster Teeth game vlogs where we would interview different, you know, and that was something that he wanted me to run and kind of be the face of or whatever.
Gotcha.
So that it's the same thing there. Like, what could we do here better at Rooster Teeth Games for our new employees? Like, no, you guys are great. Like, things have been awesome. I'd say the thing that I look forward to most in the future, Kind of Funny, is a new studio
Yeah.
where I'm not in the hallway, or not.
Right at the. We can move you away from the hallway. Take Andrea Renee's desk.
That's true.
Be by the windows.
We'll be downstairs with
Move
the
you downstairs. Comic shop. Yeah. Take the spare desk then, Kevin.
Thank you.
Is that so hard?
I'm asking you.
I'm just saying we could call it the spare desk. All right.
Oh, the
Does that
place-
solve the problem?
I meant the place
You
that
don't
they
have
were
to apologize
remodeling.
off camera. It's fine.
The place that they're redoing construction in.
That's the one thing we haven't thought of. Like the place that's been boarded up forever.
The
What
one
if
thing we haven't thought of.
Kind of funny South? We just take over the building
Kind of
right
funny
below-
sound. I like the ring to it. Yeah. The
Nick, you
place
in?
I mean, it's
underneath
probably
us.
the same owner of this place. I
Right?
imagine.
And
it's the
maybe
same
we can
building.
convince him to put a fire pole in. That's all I want.
Oh God, that'd be amazing. Although the fire pole would have to literally be right there.
So whatever. We can
that'd
shoot
be a
around
little
it.
awkward. Just it's like people like the
be so
you know how
cool.
we shoot around things.
Doesn't
We
this-
don't notice it for the 4 podcasts because we backload them. And people are like, what is that black thing in the middle of the? Oh, like, oh fuck, we shot right into the pole. We didn't realize that. Remember there was time like there was like 5 podcasts at the old place where there was just an audio line hanging in
Yeah.
front of, and I never noticed it because I just never saw the fucking thing.
Awesome.
I think recently we've gotten a lot better. Well, the names haven't popped up since August, but no, I'm not trying to like. I'm what I was saying is like I think recently I specifically have gotten into a better groove of knowing when to work on certain things so that I'm not super exhausted, so that it's like the most efficient or whatever.
Sure.
But yeah, I think I would love to work on the roof, man. Just fucking board me up there, make me a nice little man
work
cave
out on the roof.
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird.
Overlooking the.
Kevin, can you start looking into constructing office walls out of the LaCroix out there for Andy? That seems pretty easy.
I maybe don't put those on the roof though, because whenever there's a storm, the roof sounds like it's going to collapse. Everything.
Oh, the tarp.
Something
I
out
don't know
there
what's
that
been
sounds
going on,
terrifying.
but people might have noticed this in the past couple podcasts. But maybe once a podcast, something will happen where I'm like looking back here. It sounds like there's a fucking like battering ram.
Oh no, there's a dentist office over there. Maybe like hang shit every once in a while.
But man, it feels like they're trying to break into.
Well, if
this
they do,
building.
they have to fuck with Kevin, and Kevin will fuck them.
Kevin's
fuck them
begging someone to break into this
I
office. so he
bet
can
that
fight
Kevin
them.
could take any dentist on the planet right now.
I think it speaks to how fun it is to work here, where like I want to be a part of all the conversations that are going on, even if I am editing. And I complain like complain and say like it's too distracting to edit here, but that's not really everybody's. It's like also my fault because I want to go hear what Nick is laughing about.
Yeah.
And,
No,
you know,
but that, I
like,
mean that's good. That's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I thought my hope is that we're creating an environment where everyone feels like they could share ideas and be creative and collaborate and pop into other people's conversations.
Make dick
and that's
jokes.
always good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't take any offense. I don't think any of us take offense. We're like, hey, I just need to go and sit in my home and focus on this
Yesterday.
thing. What happened yesterday?
Nick and I were in our back in the office, and Nick, for the 10th time, started playing Una Noche.
It was the
by
third
98
time.
degrees.
It was the third time.
I didn't laugh the first two, so
Because by the way, so the
he
way
decided to turn it louder and louder until Andy walks back. He's like, Nick, man, like,
No. Here's the thing. I get a Slack from Joey Noel because I'm editing.
Yeah.
So I'm editing and I'm listening to what I'm editing, which is party mode. And then I see a little message that says, Nick calling you. I was like, okay. So I took out my headphones and I was like, what's up, Nick? And he's just playing the music, looking at me. Just staring at me. And then I was like, I'm just working over here, man. and he proceeded to stare at me like playing 98
What
degrees.
did I do? I turned it up, didn't I?
You sure
Like,
did.
You stared
yeah.
at me. I just turned it up.
You sure
Wait,
did.
and I have that stupid sound effect on my Mac that goes quap, 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 quap,
Yeah.
as it gets louder. The reason I do it for you, Tim, is because I don't know if you noticed this or not, but if I poke my head up, I can just see your eyes. And if I don't
the
get
way
the
that our
look,
desks are set, it's literally
It's
just
just
my
your
eyes.
eyes.
And
I can see your eyes.
if I don't get the look from you when I play the 98 degrees, then I don't think I've tried hard enough. I try to add as much levity to all of your days as humanly possible. It's a thin line between levity and annoying, and I know that. But as we all know, when you
can't
do
annoy.
it a third time, it's funny.
I
No matter what.
I
No
don't think
matter
that
what.
Nick's capable of annoying.
Oh, I've
and I don't know if
I've
I'm
annoyed
alone.
Greg before.
I don't know if I'm alone in this. But like you can push and push and push, and there's still something.
You're
that's
eventually going to
just-
get to it being funny.
Yeah, there's still something charming about it. There's still something that's just like. There's times where I'm like, I fucking hate you, but it's like it's not annoying. It's more just like, God damn it, Nick.
I fucking
the
hate
Stu
you.
got to the show.
Yeah,
There you go.
I appreciate that.
So, as a fan, you know we talk about this all the time, and then you've been here now for a year, and I think we talk about it a lot. But like, for you, what do you want to accomplish at Kind of Funny? Like, what do you want to do in the future here and next? Not a studio, obviously. That obviously that's going to happen eventually. We can't keep putting people in this place. But I mean, like, in terms of like what. Nick had the cartoon or stuff, or like I'll do, Games Daily now. Like these goals, these shows, these ideas. Like, what does that look like for you?
I've been thinking about doing a bigger production party mode. That's not a party mode, but a limited run thing. That's
Oh, like a seasonal show?
yeah. Andy teaches the gang how to play Overwatch. The guys learn how to do this and that. The guy, and
Sure.
And it's a 6-run show, and
I'm
it's
the next Overwatch.
higher-
I'll never learn Overwatch.
it's more produced. It's,
No, roll your R's. I can't do it.
Yeah, and I think it was Alex Aziz who was like, "Oh yeah, that reminds me a lot of what Achievement Hunter does with their, they have this series called Get Good, yeah." But I've seen a few Achievement Hunter heists on GTA where they do GTA heists,
Yeah.
where they are in a room planning it out. Like that's what I envision of like. Nick, who do you want to be in Overwatch? Oh, this guy looks good. And like kind of making short bits around it.
Okay.
So it's like gameplay and it's short form comedic content.
Kind of like the opening of the party mode with the basketball and
Exactly. Like the basketball one, like the PUBG one. I look forward to doing more stuff like that. It's like it's just we have to find the time to do it.
the time. Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. And there's been so many of those moments where it's like I really want to record this, but I have this other thing to record or to edit, so we can't record that bit. So whatever, you know. But that's what I see in the future of like. I think party mode will keep going, but it's more of how can we add on to that. And the reason why I would like to make it seasonal so that it's not like, hey, we can record these 6 episodes. I have 3 months to edit them or whatever, you know, like to get sort of ahead of them and shit like that and not be so pressed for time. Kind of like we did with
PSVR.
Yeah, PSVR show. Yeah. And Cooking with Greggy and stuff like that. So that's what I see in the future for me, hopefully.
Okay. Well, as you know, everybody, at every 1 year review, we end it with Nick wrestling the person who's being reviewed.
Sorry, Andy, that's what we have to do. Get in the ring. That's the ring.
This 3 foot by 6 foot spot is the ring.
Right next to all these sharp wooden
next
objects.
to 3 TVs.
You got anything else to say, Tim? Just gonna chew your.
How much time do we have? Do you have to go for your call? Do you have a thing?
Oh, I mean, no.
Well,
we have to do a Gamescast AMA and then the post show. But go. I'd rather go.
No, because I have Andy's stories that I want. I
Oh,
want
yeah,
to
we
give
never
everyone
did
an
Andy's
opportunity
stories.
to
Tell
go
some
around
Andy
and tell
stories.
some fun Andy stories. And my favorite Andy story happened at the Let's Play family reunion. Okay, we work all day, had a great time. We're out in the sun. Everything is fantastic. I'm thinking, man, I just want to go back and go to sleep. It's been a great day. We got this beautiful house in the fucking middle of nowhere. We don't even know where we're at. That's how quiet it is. And they gave me the big room because they know I get grumpy pumpy sometimes. But then we all sit on the couch for a second. And Tim's like, do you guys want to watch American Vandal and order a pizza? And I was like, yes, that sounds great. And then Andy goes, cool, I'm going to go take a shower. Leaves, takes a shower, comes back. Now it's the first time, you know, the first time when you've never, like, you see your friend in a different state.
Yeah.
Where like I always know work, Greg, but then when the first time I came over to your house to shoot like some of this, like the Oreo orations, and you answer the door in the Mizzou shorts with the beard, I was like, ooh, who is this Greg? You're like, I'm sleepy, Greg. I saw Andy. I saw Night Andy, and Andy came out, and his hair was down. It was just a little bob,
Like just stuck on his
stuck
face.
to his face because he had washed it for the first time in a week. And then he goes, "Is the pizza coming?" And I said yes. And he walked over, and I noticed he's wearing like flannel pajama pants from Christmas or whatever it was. And he just goes and he sits down on the couch and he just stares at the corner. Not at the TV, just in the corner, and he just blinks. And I was like, this is what Andy's like at night. And I was like, we don't need a Pomeranian anymore. We've got Andy. He is our Pomeranian.
He did it.
And then we all proceeded to have
One of the coolest nights of my life.
sleepover. And except I don't think you were there. I think you'd gone to bed. Or you were playing Persona or something.
I watched for a while and then I
You
went to
did,
bed. Yeah.
And that was just fun.
It was a
a good
lead up
time.
to that was like one of the most exciting times of my life where we all were still standing by the front door because we weren't sure what the plans were. It's like when you're dating a girl, like, you want to go to my place? Like, it was that sort of thing. And we were all just kind of looking at each other, and Nick goes, should we get pizza? And it's the most excited I've been in probably 10 years.
man.
And I just like jumped around. I was like, yeah! And I was like so excited.
That did have a like middle
was
school
magic.
sleepover
Totally,
vibes
yeah.
to it. It
So
was
we-
fucking
Because we knew the
awesome.
night wasn't over yet. We still have to wait for the pizza. So it was like, let me go shower, gonna walk out, we're gonna have pizza, we're gonna watch Netflix. It was like such a cool,
was
chill,
great, man.
like just relaxing.
What's
bonding
amazing
moment.
about that is we all live very close. We could do that any given night.
Yeah,
and
I
yet
know,
we
I know.
never do unless we're on a
We've
trip.
done it once.
We did it one
in
time.
our 10-year friendship.
Yeah.
Where
That was a great
we
night.
went to Nick's house and I brought Smash Brothers and this was Brawl. This was like old shit.
Back there, yeah, you brought your
And
When Pikachu was good,
Brought
yeah.
Brawl, and like it just one by one we'd call people and just we called Mike Pereira.
Hell yeah, you did.
And we were like, hey man, we're doing this thing. He's like, I don't have my car. I'll be there. And this is like pre-Uber and shit. He taxied there.
It was hard. It was like he had to
Wow.
call 333-3333 and get a yellow cab to come over and like take him over to our house.
The best part of that story though was the beginning of it where you called me and you're like, Tim, Danielle is gone this weekend.
Yeah.
Do you want to come play Smash? I was like, this is the weirdest phone call I've ever got. I'm fucking there.
Let's do it. Yeah.
It was fun. And then, yeah, one by one we called people. We got turned down a lot.
Yeah, a lot of people turned
A
us
lot of people
down.
were like, it's 10 o'clock. Why would I want to come over? We stayed up. No, the worst was when, because I couldn't find the component that would allow the component cables to get hooked up to my new plasma. So we hooked it
That
up.
was it.
Yeah.
You bought a 60 or 55-inch plasma TV, beautiful Panasonic, one of the best TVs ever made. And we get there to use the TV, and you're like, oh.
Oh,
We don't have the
no.
thing. So we had to bring out your other bullshit TV.
32-inch
put it
Sharp
in
Aquas.
front of it and play.
32-inch Sharp Aquas. Very easy. It turns out I had those connectors the entire time. I just didn't know they were the connectors. I didn't know I needed these like weird, this 1-into-3 connector. Whatever, it didn't matter. So that's my favorite Andy story. That's when I knew I was like, Andy and I bonded. We bonded on that trip.
Yeah, for sure.
I think. That was a good trip.
That was a cool moment.
was
I
great.
liked the most recent spring break better than that family reunion.
I think overall that it was, I think, you know, they had ironed out some of the kinks from that first one.
I
But that
think
was
maybe the
just a fun trip.
production was, I don't know. Production aside, I think the bonding with the other Let's Play members was a lot better this time around.
It was better, and it was fun to share a house with Funhouse. But I think I was so tired both nights because we had that 5-hour delay on Southwest that zapped me. And when I got in, I was like, I want to hang out with everyone, but I also just want to go to bed.
Right.
And then the next night was, I mean, it was a 10-hour. We were there from 10 to like 10. And I got home and I'm like, I really want to enjoy everyone's company, but I just don't have the energy for it. For whatever reason, I think the first spring, like the reunion was way more chill. I think we were in the pool for the most part.
Yeah.
And I was just relaxed the entire time. I was like cooking for people and having fun. That when we got back, I was like, I want to keep this party going. I want to keep this going. I want to
American
have a
Vandal
little
time.
I think it just proved to me you're never too old to have a sleepover
Right.
with your friends. And everyone got in their jams and we ate arguably good or bad pizza depending on which one of us you asked.
It was all bad.
It was not good.
The pizza was really bad too.
What did we do? What did we do? Pizza Hut the
We
first
did
time?
Domino's.
And
and then-
Domino's, yeah.
And I insisted on round table.
I love Domino's, but I didn't love that Domino's.
I would have called Papa John's.
I feel like the Funhouse night that we had recently, where we watched Steal My Sunshine and all that, it had potential, but we were too white. So it didn't hit that.
The only thing I didn't like about that was the
Elise?
living room. No, I love Elise. How dare you? Don't even joke about that.
The champ.
I will wrestle you
On
and
her way
lose,
to the
but I will
top.
do it just to defend her honor. No, I didn't like the layout of the place because all the couches were facing the fucking ocean. I was like, can we turn the other couch inward so we can all sit on the couch and like look at each other? We were just rode up at tables like it was some weird like Yale cafeteria. Kevin, we know you're on the couch.
Kevin was on the couch.
Did not recognize who
staring
he was.
right into your gooch.
They said that on the morning show, but in my peripheral, I saw somebody in like a fucking dandelion colored shirt. And he was also very, very a different skin tone.
Yeah.
And for a split second, and I know I may have had a little. I wasn't drunk by that
no,
point.
you had sobered up.
Yeah, and
were
I
just tired.
for a split second. I was like, "Who is sitting right in there, right in my peripheral?" And I turned around. I was like, "Oh my god, I've never seen you in that color before." So weird.
It was shocking to some of us. Shocking.
Some of us. It was an experience. My favorite Andy story is that time in Texas. I think
stay in Switzerland on this.
you were working at Rooster Teeth. It was pretty kind of funny for you. Obviously, you were still in Texas. And me and Gia were down there for something. I don't even remember what the fuck it was. And
What
I hit you
t-shirt
up and I was
contest?
like, hey, let's go out. And we hung out and we got Moscow Mules together. And we kept getting Moscow Mules together. And that's when I realized I love Moscow
really
Mules.
wasted.
And I love Andy Cortez.
I love
And that's
Moscow
when
Mules.
I feel like that's the night we became friends.
Yeah, yeah,
And I was
for
like,
sure.
oh, I like this guy. He likes me.
I met her
We-
friends. Yeah.
Yeah, we all hung out. It was a good time.
Yeah.
And then I feel like we had a sequel to that night at RTX later that year where we hung out at Halcyon or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh right, holy shit!
And we
with the
repeated
s'mores.
it by drinking more Moscow Mules.
That's right. That was it. That RTX was really cool to me because by that point, I already knew you guys, and I just felt like I was less of an unknown by that point because by that point I had already gone to New York Comic Con and I was on the same flight as like fucking Barb and Miles, so like I created these friendships and shit.
They were in first class. You walked back to
KFL
steerage.
2.
Yeah, totally. Oh, KFL 2, yeah. Kind of Funny Live 2 was really cool. That's like when Bernie fucking rented a hotel for me, which is like the craziest, coolest thing. And it was like, this hotel had the biggest TV I've ever seen in my life. It was so cool.
I didn't watch it, but it had a big TV.
That RTA, I had strep throat. I felt like ass that whole trip.
Glad you showed up and gave that to everyone.
Well, the funny thing, our friend Nick Scarpino was like, I got sick like a couple days later. I was like, no, by that point, the contagion is gone already. you are on the on the
Upswing.
upswing. Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you, Greg. That RTX is really cool though. Yeah, because by that point we had a better relationship or whatever, but it was just cool as fuck. It was like my first one as a Rooster Teeth employee, and that was like super special to me. Because that was 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because 2015 I was just there as a scrub, you know,
Yeah.
one of them scrubs.
Scrubs. My favorite Andy story would be PSX. This past PSX of getting to bring you to PSX, because like I think that's the thing is that I don't think of you guys as like employees, and I'm not good at like onboarding you into the weird life. But ever since the first PAX East we went to and did our first GameOverGreggy show panel, like that was one of the rare occasions of coming off stage where it had been me, Tim Schafer, and then Jared Garrettson. And so when we came off stage and went back to do the autographs, I saw it in Tim's eyes that it was Tim's first chance being in front of people on this scale, like understanding what we were doing, you know what I mean? Because like you do the GameOverGreggy show, you do any podcast, and you don't go out to meet fans or do it live. You don't understand that reach, you understand that energy that I don't take for granted, but I'm used to now. And so to see that in Tim's eyes, like, oh, that's awesome. So to take you and Joey to PSX this year, and like PSX being like literally what my homecoming every year. I'm like, hey, everyone here knows and has something to say about Greg Miller. Like getting to introduce you to that and see that audience come to you guys and interact with you and go to the same, Hilton Anaheim bar that every VidCon story we tell is based around. And like that again feels like second home to me in some way, or take you to Portillo's or do all that stuff. Like all of that and seeing that in your eyes of getting to live that side of what this job is.
Yeah, that PSX was great because my first PSX was the last one in SF.
Yeah.
At Moscone, which is 2015, I believe. Yeah. And that was another cool moment of me getting to know you guys, where you and Colin had the PS I Love You prayer, and Tom Hawkins was like, we should animate the prayer.
Yeah.
And we did, and it was shown on the giant screen at Moscone Center. It was like the coolest fucking thing. And that PSX was where I first met Tom Hawkins. And
then we put you guys to work. And you were our merch base.
And that was like that was another cool ass thing of like, hey, do you guys want to sell merch for us? Like, fuck yeah, we do. So we got into the place early, and it was like this really cool moment.
Yeah.
But this most recent PSX was, it was great until Wild Wild West.
That's where I was going. Is that what it was? Is of course the fact that
This is my favorite 80s story of all time.
I loved having you guys there. I loved having you be a part of it and seeing you live that side and seeing you represent Kind of Funny at a show. Because again, I don't think about that. You know what I mean? Of like, oh right, like Kind of Funny isn't just us three. It's like everybody, and like everybody gets to go out there and have Kind of Funny attached to them. Going to RTX, and when you were on that panel, and we were all sitting back there to look to my left and right and seeing Nick and Tim and be like, fuck, Kind of Funny isn't us anymore. It's up there. Like, we're here. I've never gone to a panel to support, I've never gone to a panel and seen them on a panel that I'm not on, that I'm not a part of, to sit there and be like, that's fucking awesome. But yeah, so it was awesome to see at PSX you guys live Kind of Funny and do all this stuff. But then it was awesome to have you go upstairs to shower when we got back to the Airbnb, for me to go to Netflix to put on Wild Wild West while we waited for pizza. And then you came back down, noticed we were watching Wild Wild West, sat down.
40 minutes goes by.
40 minutes goes by, and at some point I bump the controller off the table and it knocks and it skips and it says Netflix, and you flip out.
Yeah. That was a because we were all kind of drunk by that point.
Oh,
we were all fairly drunk.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, and so Wild Wild West is on, and that's whatever. We're just watching along, and then the controller falls down and it pauses, I believe. And I had this moment of, we've been voluntarily watching Wild Wild West on Netflix with their fucking breadth of, like, their library is huge.
That's
I thought that fucking I said this, I think I was telling Kovic this, like, I thought, because we told the story to Kovic over the weekend, I thought it was on TNT or TBS at like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of those movie showings where it's like, oh, Wild Wild West is on. Let's leave that on or whatever. No, we were all voluntarily watching Wild Wild West. I was
are you fucking kidding me? As soon as it paused, are you fucking kidding me?
Funny.
That was like a wheezing laugh moment for sure.
You and I have a lot of the wheezing laugh moments. That's it, where we're busting each other up and
dude.
can't stop.
That's my favorite.
PSX was great though.
Yeah,
I had a great time at PSX. That was really cool walking around and being like recognized and like for Kind of Funny.
Yeah.
Because I remember at E3, still hadn't really hit me yet of what I was a part of. And I'll never forget being in line for something at E3 and some guy looking at me and like pointing at me, and I just kind of like looked at my phone, and he was in line for something else, and I looked back up, and he was like, doing like a fuck yeah you guy, man, and I kind of turned around, and nobody was there. And I turned back around, and he was like, no, you. And then I was like, oh, he recognized me because of Kind of Funny, and that happens to me all the fucking time, where I don't know if you are somebody that I went to school with, or if you are a Kind of Funny fan, and I that's why I think Dimitri Martin put it perfectly when I went to go watch a stand-up, where he was like, I am like such a crappy level of celebrity where when somebody like points at me or gives me a head nod, my immediate thought is like, fuck, they're coming after me. Like, I don't know who this person is, but they're going to come get me. And it's like, no, they recognize you because of what you do. Yeah. And yeah, that happens to me so many fucking times.
That's awesome.
At E3 especially. Yeah. Because I just I didn't know. Still don't know. But yeah.
Joey, clarify. Is this your first PAX East or your first PAX? You did PAX South.
I did South, but this will be my first real PAX. Yeah.
Not a JV PAX. That they should stop doing because there's too many PAXs.
PAX South is fun.
PAX
it's
South
cool.
was fun.
They should all go to RTX. It's right there.
That's
also
true. That's true. Well, PAX South should have been in Austin.
Also true.
Because there's no game development hub in fucking San Antonio. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
It's only the hub of the 5-time world champion San Antonio Spurs. 1999, 2003, 2005, 2007, 2014.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Game Over Greggy show. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table. Each bring a random topic discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny and support the show. If you don't have any bucks to toss our way, though, it's no big deal. You can wait till the following Friday when it's posted as one big video on youtube.com/kindafunny and on podcast services around the globe, including Spotify. Remember, if it's not too late, come see us at PAX East. But for the majority of you, it'll be too late. Remember, if it's not too late, come see Tim and I at Columbia, Missouri. We're going to be at CJ's, April 11th. It's a Wednesday, 6:30. Meet and greet, film and videos with Pixel Brave.
Pixel Brave.
Another huge, awesome thing that we're bringing in. Another community member over to shoot this with us. Did you ever talk to the other community members about editing it? Did that ever happen? That conversation? Okay, great. Okay. Well, calm down there. All right, you just enjoy your eyes.
Gargling balls.
Who's trying to hack into my Facebook, dude? I keep getting these fucking here's the code for your Facebook password reset. Stop.
Only one that's not in the room. Cool, Greg. So it's cool, Greg.
Fucking shit,
I'm
dude.
sure it's Kevin. It's 100% Kevin.
Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you. And then we roll into the post show. Show me the chat, Big Kev Dog. Show me that chat again.
Show me that chat.
Don't waste another minute thinking on your own. Read all the chat right now.
Ant-Man0208 says Go Spurs go.
Damn right.
I disagree.
Damn right.
I just disagree.
Skizip's in there. You know, she's driving in for the Columbia meet and greet.
Jamie, are you? That's awesome.
I just love those certain PAXs or conferences where you forge a friendship.
100%.
And for me, it was, I'd say Kind of Funny Live too, is where Barb and I started kind of becoming friends, but going to New York Comic Con and like staying out all night with her and Miles and then going to get like late night Chinese and like that was like what definitely forged a friendship.
Sure.
And I love seeing that shit form. Like even in our community when people find their loved ones, like their future loved ones, like that, it's so cool, man.
Or when Zyger thinks a painting's a window.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Zyger said he owed you $50, Joey, but Andy stole it or something like that.
What?
Can you scroll back up in the comments?
Oh.
Scrub just a little bit.
I was charging for Kind of Funny meet and greet. And Zyger made a joke like, well, I give money to Andy. And I was like, no, I'm not supposed to go to me.
Oh, yeah.
I understand. So
he Venmo'd me already.
Feminist Nerds doesn't realize that was Growing Pains, not Seventh Heaven, because Seventh Heaven went, Seventh Heaven, when I see their happy faces smiling back at me.
Yeah, he's super into kids, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's super into kids.
That sucks, because that guy looked like the most innocent dad, but he just, he got, man.
You got fucking God.
He got God.
You creep around, you get God.
He John Gotti, you know?
Trevor Starkey says, hey folks, didn't get here until Andy Stories. The whole show was Andy Stories, kind of. And then were you recording when the YouTube shooting was happening? Yes. We do not have an update since breaking news.
3 or 4 injuries, and they believe that the shooter died of a self-inflicted gunshot.
Okay.
They're thinking it's a domestic.
Domestic.
Place.
Or okay. So they don't know. Okay.
You guys should have down for Loco.
Sure. I didn't think it was.
Shit's down to Four Loco for my anniversary.
No, I don't want to kill my week.
Do we have some Four Locos right here?
No.
No, I
We
don't
can
think
get
so.
one. Cool Greg probably
My
knows where to get
stomach
them.
burns so
Weird
bad.
knockoff Four Loko.
Juice.
Juice. Joose.
Yeah, that's how I would have spelled it.
Mr. Yasman, says, update on the shooting. 4 reported injured. The suspected female shooter is found dead from self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Whoa. That's a weird turn of events. A female shooter.
Yeah.
This is going to be a weird story.
I'd love a seasonal sports show. 4-partner Mario Tennis Aces. Johnny Ace. When's Johnny Ace coming back?
For Mario Tennis.
Oh,
Aces.
Johnny Ace? You mean
The
the
return
champ?
Johnny
AKA the champ?
I'm gonna clown
You guys
Which
lost.
one were
Me
you?
and Tim beat you
clown
off.
you so
Well,
much.
that's whatever. It all went into one amazing moment where I won the belt and retained it
God damn it.
throughout the entire Let's
I
Play
keep
Spring
promoting.
Break.
I don't know if you listen to Games Daily. I keep promoting, patreon.com/kindoffunnygames because of party mode, including the upcoming episode where Andy gets really mad at Nick and Greg.
Oh my God, you were so mad. Have you forgiven
It's
us for
gonna be a
that yet?
while.
I know, but it'll still be there when it's time.
Have you forgiven us for that moment yet?
Yeah, I have.
Andy, it doesn't have to be one.
It's great content. It's great content.
Have you gone back and relived that moment via
No,
the
I
edit?
have not. But I was trying to craft a tweet that day of like, imagine being murdered by your best friends, but you also have to be the coroner for your own dead body. That's like what it's like for me, who has to edit my own fucking demise, getting backstabbed. And everybody was like, "Oh, you guys like." People were thinking that I was killed in a versus match. No, this was a cooperative match.
It was us versus
This
AI.
was very much cooperative.
It's just you were a loose cannon, and Greg and I couldn't afford it.
We had to take care of it.
And
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Nobody
I don't
knows
want to
what's gonna
spoil the
happen. We
ending,
gotta do it.
but
we had to take care of it. We took
we
care
had
of
to
it.
take care of it.
Jamie says, anything else I need to do in Colombia? She says, then pizza, wings, any other must-dos. Go to the columns. Go to Slackers. Slackers, the video game resale shop down on Broadway. Tim and I will be there at some point filming. Go to the Columbia Brewery there on Broadway. See if they have that barbecue beer I keep talking about. Taking a movie if you want it.
Ragu
Ragu
bag,
bag,
$1,000.
Ragtime, right?
Ragtime pizza.
No. Well, that's why I think I might be. I think I'm right at that.
Ragtime's the Long Island one.
Yeah, but I'm
Sorry.
independent local theater house in Columbia, Missouri.
Did you fix your shirt?
My brain's
Not yet.
blowing up. Fix it
Insane
live.
for life.
Dude, here's
Duncan
a
Inns.
fun thing for us. Southwest sucks ass. We all know that. But
Ragtag.
shout out to Southwest. Since we were delayed, we each got $100 credits.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh,
Is that
that
just?
Only use the Southwest.
Yeah, that's
obviously?
$100 credits Southwest. That's pretty cool.
I wasn't
What makes it
expecting that.
even cooler is that Rooster Teeth paid for our trips, so we just get free money.
So I saw the email from Freed saying like, "Oh, we're gonna compensate you," and I was like, "They're gonna give us a fucking extra milk on the plane or some shit." $100. That's really cool, man.
I love how to you.
I'm going to LA. I'm gonna record stuff at Funhouse, man. You know?
No, you can't. It's illegal. But I also love that to you, Southwest is the equivalent to a elementary school cafeteria, where they're giving us an extra.
They act
milk.
like they sure act like they are.
Dude,
they
when
sure do.
God, so we were on the way back from Let's Play Spring Break, and I was waiting at my gate, and everybody else was kind of waiting off because there was more walking room, and then fucking like 40 goddamn 12-year-olds or some shit just all sit down at our gate. Just fucking sprawling out, like laying down, sitting down on the floor, fucking playing ukulele and shit. Not the game, like an actual ukulele.
Oh gosh,
Tim,
And I was like,
press it in.
I was like, what are these kids doing here? And
The
then
tip.
somebody's
The tip
like,
has to go into-
hey guys, we're not at this gate. And they're like,
To get saturated. Otherwise,
this isn't your fucking gate.
Aim down, Tim.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, you got to press it into what you're
done this.
doing.
Let me do it.
It's gonna get wet and tickly. Get ready.
Oh, it tickles. Oh, it's wet.
this shirt's already ruined. You've pilled the shit out of that spot. It's never gonna go back to normal.
Do it underneath.
They are tied. No, I guess everybody's seeing it. Don't have to worry about it.
I was gonna do it the other way of just like me eyeballing.
I would've done the
This is
same.
way smaller.
Somebody had asked earlier if I think they didn't want. Oh, there it is. Samuel, I haven't watched Kind of Funny Games Daily yet, but do you think we're getting a Spider-Man release date tomorrow? I don't think. I know. Insomniac announced that you will get the Spider-Man release date tomorrow. Charles Jacobson says, Andy, just want to send you love. You're such a funny and great guy. Rewatch Party Mode at least monthly, and I rewatch MCU in review ATM. You as the collector made me laugh out loud.
Thank you, Charles. I appreciate that, man.
Mr. Yasmin
And
says,
make all your friends rewatch Party Mode.
Nick, have you seen Japanese Audition and Each the Killer? No, I have not.
I've seen the Japanese audition movie.
Is it good?
It's really, really fucked up.
Okay.
It's
Ladies
very
and
fucked up.
gentlemen, that's your post show for the Game Over Greggy show. Tim and I need to record something else, and I have a conference call about PAX East. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. We love and appreciate you. Congratulations, Andy, on a year.
Thank you guys.
Yay.
Here's
Appreciate
to
it.
many more. Joey, when the
Mandy
fuck's
Moore.
your anniversary?
Here's to Mandy Moore.
Oh, good. Okay, we got time.
But Andy's on the calendar.
Did
July
you put yours
1st?
on there?
Yeah.
Okay, good job.
July 1st?
Yeah. That's my full-time anniversary.
Mine is March 23rd.
Okay.
You should put yours from
January 5th.
yeah, because like if you start working at a place and then you get a promotion, you still worked at the place early on.
But I feel like it's different.
Wait, everybody except for Greg, get off. Done.
Everybody get off.
Me too.
Whip it out. No, you can just be do there and do the pen quietly.
I think you gotta do it the post there. The point here, point.
Yeah.
Alright, go ahead and do it, Greg.
Thanks for watching the Game Over Greggy show, everybody. Click here to subscribe. Click here to support us on Patreon. Click over here somewhere else for playlist of other episodes, and then click wherever for Cool Greg's mystery hole of funness.
Ew.
Why didn't you like that, Kevin?
No, I'm good. Just kidding.
Thanks for watching the Game Over Greggy show, everybody. Click up here to subscribe to the channel. Click over here to go to the Patreon. Click on this one to see the sci-fi trailer for Krypton, and then click down here to watch a playlist of Game Over Greggy show episodes. I'm kind of yawn burped in the middle of that. I hope you don't hold it against me. Patreon.